Alright. So. I'm just gonna give like a short recap just for Matt's benefit since he was not here for the first session. Alright. So, when we last left off, the party had heard rumors of goblins terrorizing a settlement. The High Steward of Nightstone, Lady Velrosa Nandar, a Waterhavian noble, had reportedly offered a reward to anyone willing to deal with the goblin threat. The party traveled along the high road and branched off a path to Nightstone, which they found abandoned. The drawbridge to the town had been lowered, and the bell was ringing incessantly. After exploring the town for a short while, the party cleared out the temple and silenced several goblins who were ringing the town bell. Afterwards, they continued to explore a town and came across two wargs in the town square, consuming a body. They tried and failed to tame the beast, which was completely blood-starved and angry, and that's pretty much where we left off. So,
Okay.
what we'll actually do is I'll have you guys take a short rest, which is when you take a short rest, it's basically like sitting around a campfire or something like that. It takes 1 hour, and you will be able to expend hit dice to regain hit points. So to expend hit points or hit dice, you basically there's a section on your character sheet below your initiative called hit dice. You can expend any number of hit dice once per rest to regain that roll plus your con mod. Each dice will be plus your con mod.
Yep.
So, AJ, are you still full health? I can't remember.
I never took any damage.
Okay, so you won't need to expend any hit dice, but Sean, you will have d10s, I believe, as a paladin. So you can roll a d10 and regain that many hit points.
Roll d10s?
1d10.
Okay.
So,
correct.
plus your con mod.
That is 1, so 5.
Your con mod's 5?
What? No, it's plus 1.
Oh.
Wait, what was that? 6. So I'm back at 11. Fuck this. The game is garbage.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know what's going on with those.
I wish we all lived close, man.
What is going on?
The hit point thing on the tabletop like glitches out sometimes. It doesn't glitch for me, but it seems to glitch for you guys. I don't know why.
It doesn't glitch for me.
So you've set up a small campfire around in the center of town. Basically, you're using like a pit that had been left by a large boulder, and you basically, as it skipped along the ground, and you've basically just set up a small campfire. And as you're sitting around the campfire, 2 of your companions are called away mysteriously on business, and they charge full force at a hasty pace out of the town across the drawbridge. I don't know when we'll see them again. But as your 2 companions leave and you're sitting around this fire in the pit, a mysterious figure approaches you. And I'll have Matt give a short description of his character.
Basically a Arakakra around the age of probably like 4 or 5, so around middle-aged Arakakra, black feathers, wearing a dark cloak and leather armor.
Alright, so this mysterious figure basically just walks up to the party and like sits down around your fire. Alright. What are you guys doing?
What's up, dude?
I would like to ask him his mysterious figure's name.
So when you do things like that, instead of saying I would like to blah blah blah, just role play the actual conversation.
Okay. Hello, sir. What is your name?
I am Zephyros.
Nice
I
to
don't
meet
know
you.
His
Um,
name is www.
What?
What?
Oh wait, never mind.
Wait, where is he at? Alright, let me read
I'm
it.
I looked at White.
Oh, Zephyros.
Zephyros.
Move the. Who's that? Move. Zephyros. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Zephyros. I am Draxos.
Nice to meet you, Draxos. Okay. Trying to figure out how to. Okay, I figured it out.
I say nothing.
You say nothing. Okay.
That's what he would do in real life, so that makes sense.
I'm just gonna chill here and just sit next to the fire. Okay. So, what brings you to this town?
Bitches.
Bitches. Fair enough.
I'm looking for money and hoes. Because I'm Draxos.
I was told about a goblin slaying quest in this area. Would you happen to know anything about that?
Slaying goblins, dude.
We're goblin slayers now?
Where's the DM at? This is awkward.
What are you doing? I'm waiting for you to tell me what you're doing.
I don't know how resting works exactly.
So, Zephyros, would you like to go on a quest or an adventure with us?
I was told about a quest in this area, so if the quest is the same as mine, I would like to join you in this. You're also
Fair
hunting
enough.
goblins. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go hunt some goblins.
One moment.
Oh yeah.
Cutscene into DM.
So okay, this.
Alright, so as you're sitting around the fire, you begin to hear some rustling in a nearby foliage. You all stand up and peer over in that direction. It's actually getting a little bit dark since you guys have been exploring. It was around sundown when you were exploring, and you've basically been resting for an hour. So all you have is it's very dimly lit in the sunset, and you have basically only the light of the fire to see by. But you hear this rustling, and you stand up and look, and even in the dim light that's cast by the fire, you can see some shadows to the... One moment, which direction are these coming from? They're coming from the east. So this direction. You hear rustling from this direction.
Okay. That's good. I would like to basically try to move a little bit away from the distance and try to basically get some cover and try to basically hide.
So there's very little, sorry, one second. I need some sheets that I left behind.
Okay.
There's very little. You're basically in a completely open area, but you can attempt to hide behind one of the rocks, but it still wouldn't be particularly good at cover. Is that what you want to do?
Okay. If there's no cover, then it's kind of pointless.
It'll provide, I'd say, like half or 3/4 cover, but you can't fully hide behind it, I would say.
I am
Okay.
Draxos. I shall
I'll try
stand
to
in
hide
front of my new friend.
You already
I'll
are.
try to hide behind that. Get some coverage. Fade into the shadows.
So, alright, if you're hiding, I'll have you make a stealth check.
Okay. Let me get my dice. D20?
Yes.
And that's a 5 plus my stealth bonus, which should be an 8.
Okay.
With mine then, so that's 13.
Alright, so you believe you're reasonably well hidden. So, as everyone is turned towards the source of this rustling, and everyone's basically staring, as two goblins, you see them slowly crawl out of the bush. They're attempting to be... you can tell that they're attempting to be stealthy, but they're basically just crawling along the ground in full sight of you. They rolled a 4 and a 5 with modifiers respectively on their stealth rolls.
Oof.
I speak Goblin, so I
want to murder them.
I would like to. I'm gonna say, what are you doing? In Goblin.
So, like, as you say, what are you doing in Goblin? Both of the goblins kind of like freeze in place and kind of like slowly bring their heads up to look at you. And they say, what are these goblins?
They have names.
Most of them do, I believe.
They're not generic goblin number 1, generic goblin number 2.
Alright, so one of the goblins turns to his friend and says, Tot! Tot, the outsider speaks our tongue. They see us, Tot. And the other goblin says, Pojo, be quiet! They could just be speaking to each other in our tongue. They may not have seen us yet. And you're basically just staring directly at him, but he's stupid.
Alright, Todd, you're a dumbass, I can see you. In Goblin.
Alright.
So, as you speak the words, the two goblins kind of stand up and they basically, they both have short bows. They like they haven't quite pulled out an arrow, but they reach their hand behind their back and you can see he's reaching for his quiver. And he says to you, Why you come here, outsider?
I was fucking here first.
You not here first. We goblins raid this town many nights ago. Humans flee. Humans gone already when we come.
Okay.
Alright, I'm just gonna take out my bow and fucking shoot one.
I would.
Alright, if you're readying an attack, I'm gonna have you guys roll for initiative. Which, it actually do not need to roll because there's a system set up for this that rolls automatically. And it'll include the, so what the hell were these things names called?
So you're getting ready to attack me?
And you still are hidden, by the way, so, I'd say that you get your sneak attack, and you are an unseen attacker until at least your first attack. So you will roll with initiative for your, with advantage. One moment, I'm just getting everything set up.
I was expecting an encounter when I heard bustling, so I was just like, how do I hit this rock? If Sean was going to go peace talks, I was going to come out and just be like, peace talks, yay.
I'll let you in on a tip. I am the most melee ranger so far.
Alright, so that's the initiative order.
Okay. Where's the
let me re-roll that. I'm gonna get rid of all the players who actually aren't
Hey, what
here.
the fuck? I was first.
Alright, so that'll be our initiative order.
Wow.
There's hostile group 3 is not a real thing. I'll let you move before Todd, AJ, just for the sake of fairness. Because you were saying you were getting ready to attack, so, I will, sorry, one moment.
Good thought.
So both of the goblins are kind of over in this direction.
Oh shit, they're big. Some big ass goblins.
Alright. I'll keep, just keep in mind for this town, each square is 10 feet as opposed to the normal 5 feet, because this is a town map. But, AJ, you are up, and then we'll have Todd go.
So each square is 10 feet.
Each square is 10 feet.
And I can move 30 feet. Nice.
You can move 30 feet.
I'll move behind my guy over here.
I am Draxos.
I can only go on the lines. What the fuck?
What?
And I'm gonna attempt to shoot Pojo.
Alright, make a range attack. Roll a d20. Alright, I'm coming back now.
I got an 8.
So add your modifiers.
I forget what my modifiers are.
So it'll be, since it's a ranged weapon, you'll add your dex mod, and then if you're proficient in the weapon, you'll add your proficiency bonus.
So it's... Is that my attack bonus?
Yes.
Plus 6.
So 14. Correct?
Yep.
Alright, so you draw back the bowstring and you let loose an arrow directly at Pojo, but he basically screams and throws himself to the ground just in time to dip below the arrow as it whizzes over his head. Great. So, Todd is going to... He's seen that you've fired an arrow at him, so he is going to move... Todd is gonna basically, if I can get him to move where I actually want him. Todd is gonna basically duck behind this boulder, and he's gonna take a little bit of cover and then peek out and fire an arrow at Draxos.
Who's the Sean you speak of?
Yeah, so he's gonna fire the arrow, and Sean, you basically just slap the arrow out of the air before it even reaches you. And then it's gonna be Pojo's turn.
Ooh.
So Pojo's gonna move this way, and he's gonna make another ranged spell attack again, or sorry, a ranged attack against Sean again. So that's going to be a critical hit.
Oh god, Sean.
Don't die, mate. Don't die to these little goblins, mate.
Alright. So, he fires the arrow at you, and you go to slap it out of the air, but it just sticks directly into your forearm. You take 9 piercing damage.
Draxos is sad.
Zephyros, you're up.
Draxos got
Okay,
flipped.
I'm gonna obviously go for a sneak attack, aiming for Pojo, I guess.
Sure. Keep in mind he is in half cover, so he will get +2 AC against your attack.
So both of them are in cover?
Yeah, I'd say each of them is in at least half cover.
Okay. So I will go for sneak attack on Pojo then. And
Actually, I think
unlock
if you move around this boulder, you can remove cover from Tot if you want to make that
Okay.
attack.
I will try to do that attack then. Move
Sure.
here, and then...
So
Range.
Todd has no idea that you're there, so go ahead and roll your attack with advantage.
So just don't roll my hit modifier, just roll the attack?
Yeah, just roll 2d20.
Okay.
Whoa. So that's gonna hit. So you
Okay.
can go ahead and roll damage.
Which will be short bow, that's...
I roll 2d6 for your sneak attack as well.
Oh, okay. The other one, there's 1d6.
Some pretty high rolls there.
Alright.
And then the modifiers, which is plus...
Alright. So that'll be 13 damage, I believe.
Yeah.
Alright, so Todd is basically, he calls over to Pojo and says, "Shoot them! Shoot them!" And before he can even finish his sentence, an arrow flies out of somewhere he had no idea it was coming and just hits him right through the neck. And he kind of just starts to gurgle and falls on the ground, clutching to his neck before he basically just goes limp.
I fucked him up.
Nice.
Todd is dead. It is going to be Draxos' turn.
I roar, I'm the mighty Draxos. And then
You gonna throw your weapon at him, dude?
I would like to, which one's dead? Pojo?
Todd.
Todd is dead.
You can't get either of them.
Since, let's see, was I already in this square?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna move
You can only move 3.
3.
You can take the dash action to double your movement speed.
Oh yeah. So I can move 3 more. I'll move to this one.
So basically, you're right. Or
Fuck, man, this thing sucks. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know.
I'll move. I'm good. I'm in here though. I don't.
Yeah,
know.
I got you. I got you.
That's it for me then.
All right. So it is going to be Pojo's turn. So Pojo, after seeing Pojo runs, he's going to take the dash option. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to run over to where he thought he heard he heard Tot calling to him, and he runs over and basically just like holds on to like fucking Tot's body, trying to wake him up. He's like, Tot, wake up, Tot. You weren't supposed to die here. We were supposed to make off like bandits. It wasn't supposed to end like this. And because he dashed, that is going to be his turn. Jay, you're up.
I guess I'll fire an arrow at him first and see what happens.
He is in. I would say he is in half cover if you're shooting from where you're standing.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead and make your attack roll.
$16.
Alright. So you pull the bow back again, and you make another shot at Pojo, but you kind of shank it to the right a bit, and it just sticks into the boulder. And Pojo looks up and like sees the arrow sticking right where his head would be had he not been behind the rock.
I will move over here.
Sure. Zephyros, you're up.
okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take another shot at him.
Sure.
and-
Pojo looks up and like he traces where the two arrows, or he traces where the arrow came from that killed Tot, and he basically is looking at you. So he
Okay.
is aware of your position.
Okay, sounds good. So roll d20 just for. Correct.
Yes.
And that's a 16.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Well, plus modifiers, it hits.
6, and then that's plus 4 on my short bow.
Alright, so you fire a second arrow with deadly precision, and it hits Pojo directly in the center of the chest, and he kind of clutches his hands to his chest, and then he tumbles forward directly on top of Pojo. Alright, so the two goblins are dead.
Nice job, team. Sean's almost dead too.
May you heal yourself.
How do you take 9 damage from getting shot in the arm?
Because it was a crit.
I feel
There's
like
some arteries in your arm.
the arm
I mean,
does not equate to like 90% of his health.
I saw someone that nearly died from spinning their toe in this game, so who knows?
Alright, so what are you guys doing?
It wasn't at full health though, of course.
Checking their corpses.
Alright, make an investigation check. Yeah, make an investigation check.
Nice.
Alright, 1 second.
You guys are very good at the investigation. What's your investigation modifier anyway?
Alright, so,
+2.
yeah, what is, alright, so 5?
Yeah.
Alright. So, you're walking over to where the goblins are to investigate them, and you go to jump over their bodies to get on the other side of them, and you kind of stumble a bit. But you basically start digging through a couple of the pouches that the goblins had tied around their what passes for a belt. So Pojo has a pouch on him containing a gold ring worth 25 gold pieces.
Nice. We don't have our.
Yeah, so someone will need to keep track of stuff that you're getting.
Might be,
Unfortunately, the person
gold
who
ring.
is your treasurer is not here.
Who's the treasurer?
It's Joe. Just for simplicity, we were like pulling all our loot together. Fortunately, you
Okay.
want to have.
Yeah.
For...
Makes-
Alright. So, after you finish searching Pojo, you turn and look, or you've pushed Todd off to the side as he was laying on top of, or was it the opposite way? Pojo was...
Todd was on top, Pojo was on the bottom.
Alright, so you've basically pushed Todd off to the side as you were looking through Pojo's pouches, and then you go over to look through Todd's pouches, but you notice that he has a very large sack affixed to his belt. And as you are getting closer to kind of reach down, you see definite movement out of the pouch. Like it's flailing around, kind of like pressing against the fabric, trying to escape.
I would like to approach or go up to where Jay is.
Alright, easy enough. You walk over and you're standing shoulder to shoulder with Jay, basically just staring at this pouch as it moves.
What do you guys think is in this pouch?
I just draw.
It's a mini goblin.
Goblin
I
baby?
poke with an arrow, maybe.
Oh god.
Poke with an arrow.
How hard are you? Which are you poking it with the sharp end, or?
Gently with the short end.
Alright, so as you basically walk over slowly to this pouch and you press the sharp end of an arrow into it, and you hear a
So guys, what do you think we should do with this strange pouch?
I think we should take it with us.
Who wants to open it?
No, don't open it. Just take it with us.
Okay. Who wants to be in charge of that then? Who wants to carry this?
Yeah, it might be a useful distraction. A magical pouch that screams peacock.
So do you want to take it, Jay, or do you want to? Do you want someone else to carry it?
I'm gonna fucking shoot the pouch with an arrow.
Alright. Roll an attack with advantage.
Gonna kill it. I poked it. He had to kill it.
Alright. It hits. Roll damage.
He just killed this.
Ah, fuck.
Did you fail for damage wise?
So
I got a
I'll
6.
have you re-roll.
You want me to re-roll it?
It doesn't matter. So you shoot an arrow, it pierces through the pouch, and then the pouch suddenly ceases all movement, and then you see a basically quickly forming red stain form at the bottom of the sack-like pouch.
You killed it.
Red stains are good.
Yeah.
Alright, now I'll open the pouch.
It contains a now dead chicken.
No, dude.
That's great. Rations. Take that with us. We got food now.
Fucking rations. If I pierced all the good meat.
Stop it.
There's only like 4 parts of the chicken that are good anyway.
You listen here, buddy.
Okay.
I wanted the chicken titties. You try to pierce
Well,
it.
we have fire. Go cook it on the fire, mate. Go get those chicken wings. Make chicken wings for us.
Alright, we take the pouch for weapons then.
Also in the pouch is 5 copper pieces
Oh.
They're now bloody.
that are indeed covered in chicken blood.
We should go wash those out in the river.
Would you guys?
Well,
Well, we have a. Do you want to go to one of these houses, or have you already explored these houses?
No,
So-
we explored number.
The temple
graveyard.
and the graveyard.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do the one right in front of us here? House
Number
8 or 7?
Yeah, I'll do 8. Let's go to 8.
Okay.
Cool with that? Are you cool with that, Jay?
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
As we enter, I want to basically look around with my perception.
As you're entering, or once you enter?
Once I enter.
Alright, so before you enter, so you approach the front of the building. Above the entrance hangs an ornate wrought iron sign bearing the name Nightstone Inn, and below it there's a short graphic of like a flaggard of ale. But it is a large this is basically like the largest building in town, other than the castle, obviously, which lies to the south. But this is like a large multi-storied building. Unfortunately, I do not have a... So what I'm going to do, I'm going to have you guys grab your miniatures off of the sheet, because I'm going to put down a map and draw the inside of the inn out, because unfortunately this does not have... Right.
I'll never forget.
Sorry, let me unlock that real quick, if it will allow me to. There we go. Alright. So just kind of... Give me a second.
So how does adding like a dead chicken to rations even work?
You can write dead chicken on your...
Is that equivalent to
Character
1
sheet.
ration?
1 or 2 rations.
I'd say it probably has enough food for a person or 2.
2 rations.
So it's 1, 2, 4.
Congratulations, you killed a chicken.
Hey man, I didn't get a kill that last fight.
Does that go to your kill count?
Yes.
You killed however many things you killed the first episode, and now a chicken.
You know, I'm gonna keep track of my kill count now.
1 full chicken.
Sorry about this.
All good.
So these are like stairs that are heading upwards into the building that you can see.
I think it's actually easier having my inventory written down on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Because then I could just like fuck with it and not have to like
Yeah, that's
type.
perfect.
The only thing with that is that we don't know what you're currently carrying. Unless we'll have to ask what you all have, basically. But
Well, I mean-
we're gonna bag of holding on.
You don't know exactly what I'm carrying anyway, because my character sheet's outdated.
My current one after the
I mean, the one I
Alright.
posted.
So you can kind of put your characters right here. Alright, so as you walk in, you're looking around, make a perception check.
Do all of us or just one of us?
Yeah, just one of you. The person who asked for this check. So.
I did. 4 plus my perception, which is 6. My modifier.
So just give me the final for your roll, usually.
10.
So you walk in, you can tell that what this area used to be was a dining room, but the entirety of the room is absolutely straught with wreckage. A giant rock has basically punched through the entirety of the roof and has landed in the southeast corner of the room, just leaving like a gaping hole in the ceiling.
Okay.
So, your perception check. As you're basically just kind of getting stock of basically just the horrible damage that's been dealt to this room, you hear some like clanging and banging that comes from the far door in the room. However, before that, you take notice in the middle of the room, lying on the floor, is a dead goblin with a crossbow bolt sticking out of its chest.
I would like to sneakily walk towards the door.
Make a stealth check.
Tries to rogue it.
12.
Alright. You're moderately sure that you're heading. The noise continues as you slowly crawl towards the door.
I'd
And
like to,
okay, go ahead.
draw my bow and also follow him towards the door.
Sure.
Oh, I'm at the door.
Stealthily.
This is the door,
Alright,
right?
make a stealth check then as well if you're proceeding stealthily.
I'm
Yes.
assuming. Yeah, I'm assuming that's
That
the
is
door.
the door.
5 plus my modifier, which is 13.
Alright, so you're proceeding along, both of you proceed towards the door. You step on a couple bits of rubble that kind of make a soft crunch on your feet, but the noise that proceeds beyond the door just continues unabated.
I would like to walk normally with them.
Alright. So, even with the large footsteps of the half-orc against the wooden floorboards and the clanging of the armor, the noise just continues. The basically clanging and crashing continues as if it did hear you, it doesn't give it any indication of as such.
I want to kick the door down.
Make an athletics check.
I would like to attempt to stop him from kicking the door down.
Alright, contest his athletics check with your own athletics check.
Oh god. Someone's gonna have a fun time. Okay, 9 plus whatever your modifier is.
Plus 1, it's 10.
It's only plus 1?
Yeah.
I got 18.
What's your strength? What's your strength?
I think it's athletics.
That's
It
his
is.
strength.
That's a strength
Yeah.
skill.
So
So it's
you get
plus.
whatever your modifier is of your strength.
It's plus 4 plus the other one, or is it just plus 4?
Do you have proficiency in athletics or no?
No, no.
Okay, then it's just plus your strength mod.
Okay, plus 4. Okay.
Alright.
13.
So you wind up to go and kick the door, but Jay kind of interposes himself, and he kind of like loops his arm under your leg and holds his hand to your chest, and then he like holds you there before you can put your foot to the door, and then he slowly brings his finger to his lips and kind of shushes you in a shushing motion.
I would like to see if I can see anything through the door, like through a crack or through a keyhole.
The door doesn't necessarily have really much of a keyhole.
Okay, what kind of door is it?
It's like a large. It's basically like a swinging door that you kind of see like leading into like kitchens. Like it swings both ways.
Okay,
But
I'd
it's a
like
large-
to. I get what you
Go ahead.
mean. I'd like to stealthily see if I can open the door and see anything on the other side.
All right, so you slowly push the door open with your free hand, as you basically your second hand is basically on Draxos's chest, like holding him back from the door, and your second arm kind of slowly pushes the door open as you peer into the room. So what you see is that you can tell immediately that this is a kitchen. There's set into the north wall is a stone fireplace, but as you look around, the floor is actually completely covered with broken dishware and scattered utensils. But as you push the door open, you can immediately see that there's a goblin ransacking a pantry on the far side of the room. He has given no indication that he has seen that you were there. And he basically can't hear anything over the smashing of him digging through this pantry. Like he's pretty small, so he's like jumped up on the second shelf and he's just like digging through things with his feet hanging in the air.
Alright, go ahead, Sean. I'll babysit you, don't worry. Mr. 2 health.
So basically, there's only thing we can see is the goblin, and then smash.
No, you can get a pretty good look. AJ can get a pretty good look around the room. It's a pretty small kitchen, but there's a stone fireplace. There's a pantry on the far side, and the goblin digging through it, and there's shit scattered all over the floor. You're fairly confident that he's the sole occupant of the room, other than you guys.
I like to kick the door down.
All right, sure. So AJ moves out of the way.
Wait, I missed that. Sorry.
First of all, it's a swinging door, so it doesn't actually like have a normal hinge. So it would just come back if you kicked it.
Hit you in the face.
Okay, I missed it, my bad.
Sure.
Okay. Can I walk in? I want to walk in there. Are we in? We're not.
Be careful of the shit on the floor.
No one
Sean.
has answered yet.
Okay. I'm gonna stay here. Fuck it.
I was gonna go ahead and try to basically take a shot at this goblin.
Sure. AJ ducks down as he holds the door open, and you levy your bow directly at the goblin who is unaware of your presence. Make an attack with advantage.
Okay.
If that's what you're doing.
Yep.
That's so funny. Like in like.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Roll 2d6s for a sneak attack.
I can contest someone's fucking intention.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Oh wow.
So you pull the bow back, and you don't even have to tell me what your modifiers are. You pull the bow back, and you fire the bow through the kitchen door, and it basically just stabs into the goblin who's still digging through the pantry, and it goes right through his chest and sticks into the pantry, and he kind of flops backwards, but he's still basically held onto the second shift by the arrow sticking through him. But he is most definitely dead.
Sweet. I would like to go ahead and try to proceed into this.
Sure. Easy enough, you walk into the kitchen.
Okay. I guess no one's going to do anything. I'll start looking around and loot that goblin corpse.
Sure. Make an investigation check.
Okay.
I'm going to keep watch of my surroundings.
I'll have you both make or AJ make a perception check.
I got a 13, and then you said investigation.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a 14.
Alright, so, basically everything in this kitchen has been trashed. You do see that the goblin was carrying a, overstuffed sack with him, so it's basically, just barely able to tie it off, but it's laying a short distance away from the pantry.
Okay. I'd like to try to pick up the sack there.
Sure. It's pretty heavy, but you can pretty easily pick it up.
Okay, I'm gonna look inside of it and see what's in there.
Alright, so you basically untie the knot in the sack, and you can see that this sack is just absolutely stuffed with various things from the kitchen. There's several muffins, a block of cheese, a full cooked chicken. He also has a frying pan and an iron pot.
Wait. Got a bunch of cooking. Guys,
I got a
chef,
15,
guys.
by the way. I don't know if that really matters.
Yeah, I'll get to you in 1 second. As you dig a bit further into the sack, you're sifting through like the foodstuffs that were in there. You find a dented silver jug that you believe to be worth around 20 gold pieces, and you also find a cracked hourglass.
Are you keeping track of this, Matt? Or do you want me to keep track of it?
Go ahead and write that down real fast. Write down all the stuff I have. Let's go.
Because, like, I don't want to write shit down as part of my inventory if you're going to keep it. You know what I mean?
Well, I was gonna get you guys all the food and also the hourglass and the shiny.
What was the food?
Several muffins, a block of cheese, and a cooked chicken. Fully cooked chicken.
And I also got the cracked hourglass.
Yes. A cracked hourglass.
You said 20 gold pieces?
Dude, muffins are so high in calories.
The dented silver jug is, you think, might be worth approximately... It's not usable anymore, because it's in bad condition, but you think just the silver alone in it might be worth 20 gold pieces.
Okay. I'm done for now. You can go ahead and proceed to his...
You know, like a blueberry muffin has almost like 650 calories in it. Just saying.
Interesting.
Draxos need calories.
Would you like one of the muffins?
Yes.
I don't know how many a couple is, but you can have one.
Okay, so what's going on now? Do you guys have any plans, or just...
I mean, I'm still on my perception check. I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, your perception check. You don't hear any stir in the inn as they're basically rummaging through the kitchen behind you.
Nice.
Okay.
I guess we'll leave. Or I'll leave.
Yeah, if there's nothing else in here, I guess we'll go ahead and start. You said this is a dining room here. I guess I'll go into the dining room and roll a perception check and I guess actually I was head upstairs. I don't think there's anything of value left.
Alright, so you're heading into the dining room?
Yeah.
Alright, and you're making a perception check?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make your perception check.
You rolled onto the board. Oh my god.
18.
24.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your actual roll? Like, what's the...
I have a plus 6
24.
for perception. So 24.
So, what did I just roll?
I think you rolled
Okay,
a 12.
that's 16. Alright, so as you're kind of staring around the dining room, you look up into the gaping hole that the boulder left in the ceiling, and you can kind of see... You kind of look up there and you think something catches your eye, but before you can discern what it is, it quickly ducks away from the hole and fades back into the darkness of the second floor.
Okay.
Oh, is there a second floor to this
but you
building?
can- Yes, there is. There's stairs. These are stairs. Sorry, I'm not very good at...
Oh, I thought those were like tables or some shit.
I'm gonna alert the party that there's something upstairs. There's like some sort of creature upstairs.
Easy enough. So, you don't have to, like... You can, like, roleplay the conversation. You don't have to, like, tell me that you're...
Okay, I was gonna say, guys, I just looked through that hole there, and there's something up there, something moving up there. Be on guard.
Let's go explore it.
Yo, Sean, try and jump up. Actually, don't do that. You have 2 HP. Alright, I guess I'll walk up the stairs stealthily and see if I can,
So, don't bother. What it is already knows that you're there, so...
Yeah.
It's basically been watching you this whole time.
Alright. The fuck?
But I will now draw the second floor of Nightstone Inn.
Yeah.
I'll walk up the stairs with my bow ready.
Sure, easy enough. Oh, that is not what I want. Get rid of that shitty thing.
Do you guys? Are there any other things you guys want to do down on the first floor here? Just outside. This is not. This is me.
I don't know what this is, to be honest.
That's the entrance. I thought at least.
That's a large boulder. I apologize for my
Ah.
mediocre drawing skills.
All good. Yeah.
That's a big boulder. The boulder is like 10 feet.
Yeah, it's ginormous. It stands taller than you. It's basically just destroyed this inn.
Yeah, just let me. If there's anything you guys want to do on the first floor, let me. Afterwards, after we're done with this, I feel like I can't flip a few things. We'll see. That goes now.
I'm kind of worried about Sean's modifiers and whether or not he filled them out correctly.
Sean, you there? Sean?
Yeah, I'm here. So,
Okay, for modifiers, the way they work here, like your strength modifier, whatever you have for your strength modifier, it will go towards your athletics checks. Your dex checks, which would be acrobatics, sleight of hand, and stealth, those are all made by your whatever your dex modifier is, unless you have proficiencies in those, and then intelligence, arcana, history, investigation, religion, and nature.
no, yeah, I know it works.
Okay.
Well, I feel like
Or I was gonna say-
you thought your athletics modifier is +1. Wait, what are you proficient in?
I think it's +1.
It's not. No, we just fucking figured out it's not +1.
Maybe
it would
it's
be whatever your
+4?
strength modifiers.
It's your
whatever your
strength.
modifier is.
It's
Whatever your strength.
+4 then. It's really blurry on my PDF though. I'm proficient in intimidation, medicine, persuasion, and religion.
Alright, you can move up.
Yeah, you should try and intimidate people more, and persuade them more.
I also have intimidation.
Okay, so I guess I went up first. Is this?
I'll follow behind you.
Where's the lowest point of the
To
stairs?
the where you are is the lowest part of the stairs.
Okay.
Okay.
Because on the bottom floor they kind of go up here and then curl back around, continuing up here.
Okay, I see.
So then basically you're now the far end of the stairs.
I'll follow with you.
And I'll do a perception check as I walk up to the second floor.
Sure, go ahead and make your roll.
Our half orc is asleep. 15.
You're slowly walking up the stairs with your bow still drawn, but the top floor of the inn is completely silent. You don't hear anything or see anything on the second floor landing.
Okay.
You sure you saw something up here? Arakora? What's your name? Zephyros?
What you're saying is that's the race.
That's the race.
Arakara.
I mean, it still
Yeah,
works.
it's Arakara.
It's just
I could
fucking
have
racist.
blew up here through the hole if I really wanted to. I just realized that. I'm being stupid.
Dude, you could have chased him.
Yeah. But I'm gonna go ahead and also roll the second check.
Sure. Or where are you right now?
I'm just.
He followed
I'm
me
on the
up. I
second
think he's
floor there.
behind
Oh,
me.
Follow
sure.
up there, yeah,
Sure, make your
yeah.
check.
Who's following him up? Oh. 18 plus 6.
Oh my.
You listen incredibly hard, but for now the top floor landing is completely silent.
Alright, where you guys want to go first?
Those are all doors, by the way. There are 4. You can see when you walk up there. On the second floor landing, there are 4 rooms that are adorned with like different room numbers.
Let's go to the right.
Yep.
believe this
The
door
first
here,
one or the second one?
I believe this door here is the one where the creature.
Oh, is this okay? Is this the hole here?
That is the
But I
hole.
thought-
Well, you can't see it from where you are, but
Yeah, I
you're
saw it
reasonably
going in the pool.
certain by the geometry of the inn that that's where the bedroom or the hole would be.
Correct.
Hey guys, let's check this one out. To the left.
Okay. This one over here? Or which one?
Yeah.
Okay. The one with the creature? Okay. Sounds good.
Wasn't
There we
our
saw something.
our
Can I
2
move
health
forward to the
tank
door?
goes first?
Sure.
Um. Can I get to push the door open?
Sure. You rest your hand against the door and you begin to push, and it yields. It's not locked.
Could you
Cool.
imagine trying to
roll
kick
my
open
bow
a locked door and then just like
proceed
having your knee
behind,
buckle?
Draxos.
I'll follow behind.
Yeah,
Alright,
I'm
so
following
are
my
you
bow.
walking into the room?
No, I'm
Yeah, I'll walk in.
I'm staying in the hallway.
I want to walk in.
Alright,
I'll
so
follow
as you walk into the room, you can see the absolute devastation that is left in the aftermath of the rock kind of flying through the roof. You can basically you can see a bit from where you are in the doorway. You can see down through the hole to the dining room area that you were previously in. Additionally, in this room is actually, other than the massive hole in the floor, you can see that there's a lot of other devastation. There's like a bed that has been it basically tore like a large hole in the bed. And additionally, a wardrobe is kind of tipped over and smashed. There is, one other bed that kind of rests at the far end, but everything's been kind of destroyed here.
Okay, I'm going to follow Zephyros there and basically look around and see if anything of value is around. That's the damage.
Make a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
It's an natural
20
20.
and
I'm not even gonna bother. Okay, so as you basically watch Draxos walk into the room, you can hear like a quick rustle from under the one remaining bed.
okay.
Can I go to look under the bed?
Alright, is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, just stick your 2 health face under the bed and say, "Hey, is anybody here?"
You should have
Bro,
healed yourself.
if it's a goblin, I speak goblin.
It's just gonna fucking
I can
stab
call
you
that-
in the face before
Bro,
you speak.
I speak goblin.
Why don't you
and
shout in Goblin, "Hey, is anyone under the bed?"
My persuasion's good too, dude.
Also intimidation and all that.
You could just intimidate them out from under the bed.
Alright, can I change what I'm doing?
Sure.
Because I'm being dumb. Alright, I would like to, I know you're under there, creature. Show yourself.
So you hear a as you speak. Are you speaking in Goblin or Common?
Goblin.
All right. So as you speak the words in Goblin, you hear a female voice come out from under the bed. Wait, please, don't kill me, goblins, please. And you see a woman who's dressed in dark black armor. Basically, she rolls out from under the bed and she quickly stands to her feet. But it is a human woman dressed in completely black armor. You can see around her left arm she has a snake coiled, like several coils around her arm, and it kind of just is resting her head on like the top of her hand. Additionally, the snake has wings.
What fucked up world is this?
An awesome world, right? It has wings.
Sorry, I got that character.
Were we talking about like chocolate pudding or some shit?
But she looks at you and she's like, "You're no goblins. What are you doing here?"
I'm not in the room,
I
by the
asked her
way.
the same.
Hi.
I asked her what she's doing.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing? That's better. Better question. We were sent by. Who was the person we were sent by?
Her name is. So she didn't specifically call for you, but she put out like a reward for anyone willing to deal with the goblin threat. Her name is Lady Velrosa Nandar.
Okay, we're doing a quest for Lady Rosa Vindar to help kill the goblins. What are you doing here?
Sorry, 1 second. I am a traveling monk. I was staying in this inn when there was a giant attack. Suddenly boulders began to rain from the sky. They completely destroyed the inn, and before I had a chance to make my escape, there was a goblin incursion. Goblin infestation has basically taken over the town. I don't know where everyone else is. They might have chased them off. They could be captured, dead. I have no idea, but I just decided, I heard the goblins outside and I decided to stay in my room.
Bullshit! Monks don't talk. You tell me the truth now, woman.
Make an insight check.
No. Feel my cheesy fingers.
You could have made an intimidation check if you worded that differently. Oh shit.
Yeah, that would have been a better roll, I think, for you. I'm not sure though.
+1, 14.
14. Okay.
Reroll.
Seven.
She seems to be telling the truth, as far as you can tell.
Goddamn bullshit. Monks don't talk.
I like your logic, mate.
Who said monks don't talk? You could have intimidated her into telling the truth.
Are you saying out loud? Are you thinking to yourself that monks don't talk, or are you telling her that monks don't talk?
Good question. I guess I'll say it to myself.
I'm gonna.
Can I, okay, sorry. I'm a bit hesitant to trust what she's saying. So in my head, I'm just being cautious
Okay.
of this woman.
Okay.
I'm going to talk to you guys and see what you guys think we should do with this woman.
I'm not even in the room. I don't know she exists. No one told me.
Okay, I turned to
Jay! Jay, come in here.
So, the woman who has yet to give you her name kind of cringes as you shout for your companion into the adjacent landing.
Okay, I guess I'll walk in.
I can intimidate also if you want me to.
Sure.
I can try to intimidate her. Or. So, what do you guys think we should do with this woman?
Are you having this conversation in the room with her, or what?
Well, quietly.
Oh, my headset's
I'd say that if you're having the conversation in this room, you cannot do it quiet enough that she cannot hear. It's a very small room.
Okay, I will.
What is your name, madam?
My name is Kella Darkhope. Again, I'm a traveler. I was. I just. There's been a lot of commotion. Can you imagine how you would feel if a rock just suddenly flew through your ceiling? It's destroyed like all of my belongings. It's destroyed my inn. It's destroyed the town, and now I have to deal with these goblins rummaging through everywhere. I thought I would be captured. I'm glad to see at least what I hope is a friendly face.
Well, yes, I am friendly.
How have you survived here by yourself?
I'm trying to talk, goddammit.
I'm no stranger to hiding. You're the first person to realize that I was under the bed. Some of the goblins have come and gone, but they seem to have done whatever they wanted to with the room and disappeared. And it is kind of dark, and you can kind of see that she's at least telling the truth that she's pretty good at hiding. She's wearing like all black armor.
Is it like plate armor?
No, it's like the dark. Imagine Dark Brotherhood leather armor. It's
Okay,
kind of
leather
that
armor.
without any adornment, and she kind of has like a traveler's cloak worn over the the leather armor. But you can definitely see that she has like leather armor under the cloak.
Okay.
But she basically like stands there and like strokes the snake's head as she stares at you and waits for you to respond.
An actual snake, or is this like a adornment, like a?
No, it's an actual. You can hear it like and it's like sticking its tongue out. It's definitely alive.
Okay. So I'm going to question about the snake. Like, what the hell is that thing?
Simply my pet. I have a preference for the very rare you see. I picked this up from a traveling merchant not far from here, in Waterhaven.
Okay.
Madam, would a cat not support?
No, unfortunately, my allergies. Reptiles tend to be more my persuasion. They don't get their disgusting dandruff in their hair everywhere. Plus, snakes make better traveling companions, you see.
Can I?
Yeah?
I don't know how to word this.
What are you trying to ask?
Can I see if she has anything of interest on her person?
She has a fucking snake. Is that not interesting enough for you?
We just met
I
her,
mean,
can't kill her, dude.
I mean, like,
What are you trying to look for specifically? Just anything interesting?
yeah.
Make a perception check.
Nice. 8.
You see that she's wearing a cloak worn over leather armor, and she has a snake wrapped around her arm. You can't see anything especially interesting other than that. She's got like she has long blonde hair. She's actually rather attractive, just judging from this picture that they have in the book here.
Attractive is good.
Let me guess.
How long have you been here?
Again, I'm a traveler, not more than a week. I just happened to be unlucky enough to be here when the attack started. How long have I been hiding since the attack? Let me actually look that up because I don't know the information. 1 second. Not very long. I've been inside this room, looking at the moonlight and the daylight through the ceiling. It's been difficult to keep track of the time. I'm sorry I can't give you a more accurate estimation of the time I've been here.
Okay, you must be awfully hungry. I'm gonna take one of the muffins and basically try to bribe her to basically give her food in exchange for information, basically, about the giant.
So she walks over to you and she accepts so you're giving her a muffin?
Yes.
So she cautiously approaches you and grabs the muffin out of your outstretched hand, and she just takes a big bite of you. Thank you. I've been absolutely famished. I haven't had much opportunity to sneak my way down to the kitchen. I was thinking that I might have to had you not arrived, because it's been quite some time since I've had anything to eat.
Sorry, you say she bit him?
Sorry, what? No, she bit
She bit
the
the muffin.
You didn't eat me, mate.
Yeah, he definitely said she bit.
I said she bit it.
That would have been sick.
If she just
No,
bit,
I'm
yeah,
just
not
attacking
She
her.
did not bite
unarmed.
her.
Unarmed strikes.
Okay.
Okay. You happen to see which way this giant was heading?
The rocks just started raining down. I didn't even see where they came from. I didn't even see the. I heard before the other people in the inn. I heard them say something about a flying castle, but I don't know much more than that. I'm sorry.
That could mean like shit, mate. I turn to my companions and ask them what they think we should do. Do you think we should bring her with us or leave her here as we investigate further throughout the city?
I think she can come with us. She's pretty good at hiding.
I prefer not to leave unless absolutely necessary. I'm very frightened of goblins.
No, madam. I assure you. With us, you'll be safe. You should come with us.
Are you persuading her?
I'm
Make a
persuading her.
make a persuasion check.
I mean, they give you nothing.
I just say I gave him a muffin away, mate. We can...
You're also proficient in persuasion, right?
So it's just +4, it's 11. Right.
Or what's your charisma?
Christian plus
What's your-
14 + 2.
So it'd be
What?
4.
So it'd be +2 and then +2 again from your proficiency. So it's 7 + 4 is 11.
Okay.
+4.
So basically, she basically walks, like, she backs up away from you. Please, I'd really rather not leave this room. I feel safe here.
That's fine with me.
Well, if you don't want to leave, fine.
Okay.
I was just not want to kill her, but fuck it.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Silence.
She has black leather armor.
That's what I'm saying. Plus, I
I
want
was
a
gonna
snake.
say, you
I'm not saying this out loud.
Snake's good at her. It tastes like chicken.
I also heard that.
I
Wait,
want to walk out of the room,
Sure.
I'll follow.
and I want to make my way to the store
Sure.
and push it open again.
No,
Keep going.
I'll follow to the door.
So she basically watches you as you leave, and as you basically walk out the door, she, like, heaves a sigh of relief. But you walk back onto the landing and you move to the adjacent bedroom, and you're pushing open the door, you said?
Yes.
So you push open the door. From what you can see, the room is, from your initial glance through the room, it looks very similar to the room that you had just been in, but a bit smaller. There's only one bed instead of two, and there's much less damage, obviously, as the room is still partially intact because no rocks have flown through it.
Okay.
I'm gonna stay in the hallway for a little bit here.
I'm also staying in the hallway.
I want to move to the store
Okay.
Sure.
and push it open again.
Alright. So, as you push the door open, you notice this room is basically, it's on the opposite wall of the one that you had just been in. You push open, sorry, I forgot to draw this. You can see that a rock has flattened the northwest corner of the room. There's an ornate tapestry depicting a mountain landscape hanging from the far wall that is in tatters from the rock passing through it. Again, in this... Sorry, could you have whoever's watching in the background turn it down a bit? But, you walk into the room, and the thing that catches your eye in this room is that there's a large iron chest sitting under the far window.
Chinese.
I like to walk in and open the chest.
You walk into the room and you place your hand on the chest and go to tug it open, and it stands firm. It appears to be locked.
I would like to go in this room and see if there's anything interesting.
Make a perception check.
$21.
So you root around in the room, but it seems that no one was staying in this room before the attack happened. You don't find anything of interest.
I guess I'll move over to the final door here and open it,
Alright.
and then look around in it.
Sure. So when you push open the door, this appears to be another vacant bedroom. It contains two beds, an empty wardrobe, a desk, and a matching chair. An oil lamp sits on one corner of the desk, and another rests on the small table tucked between the beds. Additionally, there's a bearskin rug.
Is there any drawers on this tables or no?
Yeah, the desk has several drawers in it, yeah.
I'd like to open the drawers and see if there's anything of value inside the drawer.
So you give a quick look through the doors, or the drawers, not the doors. You look through the drawers quickly. They appear to be empty. It doesn't look like anyone was staying here.
Okay. I guess I'll go join Sean.
Yeah, I'll go join Sean.
There's nothing in.
Oh hey, a chest. He wanted it for himself.
Can I try to use my thieves tools to pick the lock on this chest?
Or what is Sean attempting first?
I wanted to hit it with my hand axe.
The lock or the chest?
The lock.
It is made of iron.
It's made of iron. It's not...
What's your axe made out of, bro?
Is that what you want to do?
I stand next to the chest.
All right.
I have a proficiency with my thieves tools also.
Sure.
I don't
So
have
are you
thieves'
attempting
tools.
to pick the
Pick
lock?
Yes.
Sure. Go ahead and make a flat dexterity check, and then add your proficiency.
Okay.
What does that mean?
So 10.
Add your proficiency.
Is it
plus 2, correct?
just his dex
Yeah.
plus?
His
Okay,
dex,
so
it's the
12.
d20 plus his dex mod plus proficiency.
Okay.
So 12.
So you're having trouble getting the tumblers to stay in position. Like this lock seems fairly complex as you kind of fiddle with it. You keep bumping the tumblers up, but they fall out of position as you move to the next tumbler. You're having some difficulty with the lock. It doesn't appear like that you have the ability to get it open.
Okay.
What kind of chest
I would
is
like
it?
to.
Is it a wooden chest?
It is an
It's
iron
iron.
chest.
That's an iron chest.
Could I proceed? I would like to move towards this room where the lady was.
Okay.
I'll follow in the
I don't know
hallway
how
at
far
least.
I can-
I would
Does
stay in
that
this
how far
room.
out of
I'm gonna look
combat?
around. Perception check to see if I can find a key for this chest.
Okay.
Okay. Make a perception check.
Yep. That is a 3. Oof. Plus my modifier, which would be plus. So a 9.
So you root through a couple of places that you think it might be possible for a key to be hidden. You like go through the drawers. You check like a couple the dressers. You even give a look at the tapestry. It doesn't seem like there's a key anywhere.
Okay.
Excuse me.
I would like to walk in and talk to the lady.
All right. As you
Uh,
walk into the room, she was standing there looking out the window, and she turns back to face you. Yes, is there something else you needed?
Sorry to bother again. I know you. But do you happen to know anything about the iron chest in the room?
I'm afraid not. I just arrived in town. I didn't have much contact with the other guests.
Fine.
Fine. Alright, what do you guys want to do?
Do you guys want to do anything with this tapestry? See what this tapestry.
Tapestry?
Yeah.
Isn't it ruined?
It's I don't know.
Yeah, it's like semi-hanging from the east wall, but it's been like tattered by the debris. It's torn to pieces. You don't really think it'd be worth anything?
So, what do you guys think? Do you think we should just move on, or do you think we should look around for anything else? Because this is basically, we already searched.
That was the
all
last. We searched all the rooms, right?
Yeah.
That was the last one.
Okay. Fuck that chest.
I don't think I have a key or
We
anything.
can't get it open, and the
Well,
lady.
Open this chest, possibly.
I don't think I have anything though.
I mean,
I have a shovel.
attempted the lock with a shovel.
I can
have
hit
a
it.
blanket.
I have a crowbar for my burglar's pack. Can I attempt to open it with that? Or actually, I'll get John to try to open it because I think he has a higher strength modifier.
You try to find somewhere that you can insert the crowbar, but it's a pretty well-made iron chest. The top of the chest is basically flush with the bottom. It's difficult. You feel like it'd be difficult to get the crowbar in anywhere.
Okay. Dang it. That was my hopes and dreams.
Sorry, it's a fairly high DC to open the chest. Unfortunately.
Well, I guess let's just
Yeah, I guess
go to another building, guys.
we'll come back later.
Okay. Come back later if we can find a key. And also make note the ladies there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna write that down.
Her name was Kella Darkhope, if that's alright.
Kella Darkhope. Oh,
I made note of the chest and Keller Darkhope in that chest. Oh, and roommate or 8.
which house did we go in?
That was 8.
This one. Okay.
That's what Keller Darkhope and chest is.
Let's go explore 7.
7. That's my character over the 7.
So as you approach this house, it appears to be some sort of stable house. Like it's a rather large barn.
Okay.
But it does have 2 floors. You can tell from the size of the building. It has kind of like a tented roof. But even from the outside, you could see that there's a gigantic hole in the middle of the roof.
Okay. Good.
I would like to attempt to get onto the roof.
How are you doing that?
How high is it?
It's standard 2nd floor. It's about 20 feet up.
How high is this fence?
It's about waist height, I'd say.
Oh
I
shit.
can, if you want me to get on the roof, I can get on the roof.
Yeah, go on the roof.
I'm gonna fly. on
Do a
top of the roof.
perception check through the hole in the roof.
Okay, I'll fly up and land on the roof there and look down through the hole, see if I can see anything.
All right. Make a perception check. Are you doing this stealthily, or? I'm gonna say that you're not because you didn't say it already. I can't just
Sure.
have you wreck
Yeah.
on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Perception check.
Yeah, roll a perception check.
16 plus my modifier, which is 6.
All right, that's pretty good. So you fly up to the top of the barn and you land on the roof. It kind of creaks, and you kind of walk closer to where the hole in the roof is, and the roof kind of feels unstable, but you're not that worried about it because you can fly. But you basically go prone and you kind of peer over the edge of the hole. You can see into what you would call like a hay loft. The loft is filled with haystacks and like sacks of oats. But you can see that there is a goblin that is digging through the haystacks in search of something.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and stealthily back away from the hole and basically.
Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Okay, I was gonna and roll. And then modifier would be 8.
Sure. You can
Modifier.
hear that the goblin is, as you back away from the hole, the goblin is continuing to dig through the sacks.
I'm gonna then motion or basically go back down to the group and tell them what I've seen, what I saw. And
Sure. So now they are up to date on what you have seen.
Is there any way to gain HP?
There is leveling up.
No, like
can I
get
lay
back
hands on
HP.
myself?
Actually, I'm not sure.
I have
How
like
it's
medkits
gained
and
their-
shit.
You can use health potions, but medkits are usually used for like stabilizing injuries if someone goes unconscious.
Okay.
And that goblin was that goblin on the first or second floor?
He was on the second floor of the barn. You used your lay on hands already, right, Sean? Earlier?
During battle, yeah, to heal. Him.
Yeah, he used all of it too, I'm pretty sure.
I thought I got it. I don't know how it works.
That power replenishes when you take a long rest, so unfortunately you do not have any health in your pool.
Okay.
You guys can always take a long rest if you would like.
Nah.
Do you guys want to walk in?
I will proceed.
Are there any
Those are
windows
the-
or anything?
Are you asking if there are windows to the barn?
Yeah.
Not particularly. It's like a normal barn. It's got a large barn door, but there are no windows because no one lives here other than the animals. So.
Alright.
I say we walk in because the goblins on the second.
Well, that doesn't mean there's not other ones.
I mean, that's what we know
And
of.
use a perception check. I can even lead. I'll lead and perception check the first floor of the barn.
Are you proceeding stealthily or no?
Yes.
Okay, make a stealth check.
I think it's fair if you don't ask that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will not ask that question in the future.
Like, I'm not telling you not to, I'm just saying I think it's fair if you don't.
Alright. Noted. So you proceed into the barn and you still kind of hear the goblin digging through sacks on the second floor of the building. But go ahead and make your perception check.
Plus another 6 on top, 12.
So you look around. Surprisingly, the barn is still occupied by several animals. You can see that in the kind of stalls there are at least 5 riding horses that are confined to the wooden stalls along the north and south walls. Hanging around the barn are kind of riding supplies like bits, bridles, saddles. There are 2 wooden ladders that lead to the second floor of the barn, what you had previously seen as the hayloft.
I would like to walk into the barn.
Alright. So as you walk into the barn, the horses kind of startle a bit at seeing you walk in, and they kind of rear up and whinny a bit, which draws the attention of the goblin on the upper hand floors of the building. But he looks down to see if there's anything different with the horses, and he kind of notices that you're there. Go ahead and roll initiative. I will roll it for us. I don't know why I keep saying that.
Okay.
Do you get an advantage for being on the second floor? Or being like a height advantage?
No.
Oh, really?
He is hiding behind cover, so he will get.
So technically, yeah.
So I guess yes. He doesn't have when you said advantage has like a very specific meaning.
Do you get? I use that in my vocabulary a lot. Do you get like any bonuses for like having a height advantage?
No.
Except AC.
Well, the height advantage is because he's behind cover. It's not related to. Like he's hiding behind bales of hay and
Oh, okay.
kind of looking down at you. It's not related to being on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Okay.
1 second. What was this stupid goblin's name? Is that really what his name is? Alright. He does have a stupid name.
Is it better than Tot or Pojo?
That's pretty bad. Alright.
Third, really?
That's what his name is. Zephyros, you're up.
I'm going to basically attempt to fly up to him and draw my daggers and try to like attack him.
Alright.
Take flight, get up to the second floor, and then try to attack him.
So with a whoosh as you kind of flap your wings. It kind of sprays the hay everywhere, and you basically dart up to the second floor, and you fly, completely negating his cover. And you are attacking him with one dagger or both daggers?
Both my daggers.
All right, go ahead and make 2 attacks.
Okay. So roll 2 d20s or just roll 1 d20?
Just roll 2 d20s, and then we can roll damage together.
Just to make it easier. 13 and 4. Oh, we got 13. And then 2d. I don't know if they hit or not, so.
They both hit, but daggers are d4s, I believe. Are they not?
Yes, sorry.
Okay, so 4 and then add your modifiers.
That would be plus 4 modifiers plus on profession.
So what's your total? I'm gonna need you guys to tell me like your total. I'm too tired to be doing all this math.
So each dagger would be doing a 6.
At least one of those should have your proficient. The offhand doesn't gain your proficiency bonus, but or wait,
Okay,
how does
62.
dual wielding work in this game?
I think you need the proficiency in dual wielding to actually have the extra damage. It will be a total of 8 damage.
Holy shit! How did I roll so low?
What?
So you fly up to the second floor, and you basically take 2 stabs with your dagger, and you basically just swing both daggers along his neck, and you just slice his throat right open, and he kind of just falls over.
We have an assassin in our party. He's literally
So?
killing everyone in one hit.
Goblins really just do not have that much HP.
Even before though,
I'm sorry. Just killing everything.
we couldn't kill them. I mean, I shot one in the eye and it like died instantly. I'm pretty sure, but
I think I've killed everything instantly so far.
I can't remember how the other one died.
Well, I've killed four goblins so far. One I impaled into a wall. This one I slit its throat, and then one I shot in its eye, and the other one it was mourning its brother, and I shot it or its friend.
And AJ kills a fucking chicken.
And shot him with dice.
What were we gonna do if we let the chicken out of the bag, huh?
I'm going to loot the corpse.
Alright. So, Derp carries a coin pouch that holds 1 copper piece. Additionally, he has a large sack kind of laying to the side.
Okay. I'll go ahead and open the large sack.
So in the sack is a kind of small-ish box. It's a small wooden box, but it's ornately carved. It's got a blue lion carved into the side of the wooden box.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take this box and bring it down to the rest of the party and basically ask anyone there that if they know anything about this box or if they know what this blue lion is.
I do not recognize the lion logo.
You should roll an insight check. Or no.
There's no need. You recognize. Make a history. Whoever's. I'll have you all make a history check.
A history check.
Okay. I have a +1 in that. Okay.
I have a
Let's see what
+2.
I have.
Nice, Sean.
I've actually rolled 2.
Nice.
I did not mean to roll 2. I rolled 1.
Nice. Look at our checks here. I got a 5.
I did not mean to roll 2. Let me go ahead and roll here.
Whoa.
You got
Okay.
a 2.
I've actually rolled 2.
I know, but normally we would just take
The
the
first
first one.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I got a 5.
None of you recognize the mark.
Okay. I'm going to suggest how about we take it to Kella there and see if she recognizes with this, since she's the only other human here, or, that we know of.
I agree.
Do we know what's in the box?
No, we didn't
You
open the
don't
box
know.
yet.
Is
No,
that what you're doing?
I have not opened the box. I have not opened the box. I'm just holding the box.
Hmm.
Do you guys want to open it? I'm just holding it right now.
I feel
I
like
guess
you
I'll-
can go over there and ask her, since you can just fly through the roof. And
Okay.
she's in that room anyway.
Okay. Sure. I'll fly through the hole in the roof and over to where Kella is, through her hole in the roof.
So as you like fly through the roof, she basically like looks at you with she looks fairly startled. She's like, "Jeez, warn me if you're going to do that, please."
Hi, I have a box.
I can see that.
Do you recognize this logo, this lion's head logo?
I do. It's a fairly common symbol. It's the symbol of the Lion Shield Coster. It is a chain of trading posts that are in the northern reaches. The Blue Lion. I believe there's one in town actually, and she kind of beckons you over, and then she directs your attention out the window to a building to the south. I believe that she's pointing here. I believe that there's a Lion Shield Coster located somewhere in town. I believe it's that building over there, and she points at the labeled 9.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll go ahead and fly back to my party and tell them this new information.
Sure.
Hey, how's the view up there?
Oh, that's nice. I can fly. I'll have to carry some. I'll carry. I'll make Sean walk. You guys want to go investigate this blue line?
Sure. Oh, I forgot you can carry people.
It depends on your weight. I'll fly slower because I have a 50 moving speed with the lights.
Considering
that would be...
my own weight is my weight, I'm sure you're good.
You do fly with half movement if you have like, or what are the rules for encumbrance in D&D? Let me look these up.
I know I can't. I probably can't handle Sean because I'm assuming he's quite large. I can handle halflings, that's for sure.
If you carry weight in excess of 5 times your strength score, your speed drops by 10. If you carry weight in excess of 10 times your strength score, you are heavily encumbered. Your speed drops by 20, and you have disadvantage on ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws.
Okay.
What's
And
your
then
strength
up to
score?
15 times your strength score, you cannot carry that much.
I have 11. That's my strength.
Okay, I definitely weigh more than 55 pounds.
Fair enough.
You can still carry him, it's just that you'll have a movement speed of 4 feet instead of 40 flying instead of 50.
Okay. So we're here at this building here. Who wants to enter the building first?
So as you walk up to the building, mounted above the building's entrance, circular blue shield emblazoned with stylized golden lion, the symbol of the Lion Master, a trading company. The door to the trading post hangs open, and you can easily hear a ruckus from within the trading post.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and peer in and basically stealthily look around. So like putting my head in there, looking around real quickly, see what's around.
So you can see that the trading post is still fairly well stocked. There are several racks that hold like spears, There are several swords that are mounted on the walls. And you just see like a variety of goods that are still remaining in the trading post. It's like you can see that people have been taking things out of it. It's been rummaged through, but it's still fairly well stocked. You can see a goblin that is standing in the store stuffing things into a backpack.
Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and draw my bow and take a shot at it.
All right, sure.
So we're going into the building now, or no?
I don't. Where are you taking the shot from? Like the doorway?
From the doorway, yeah.
Sure. I'd say that it is difficult to see. Like the door is only like half hanging open.
Okay.
I'd say he has half cover probably.
Okay.
Make your attack roll.
Okay. Does that go through or plus?
You're gonna have to give me the number.
I said 13.
So you draw your bow back and you kind of you aim at the goblin and you fire the arrow, and just as you're firing the arrow, the door kind of drifts on its hinges inward from a gust of wind, and you hit the door, and the door slams open and smashes into basically the frame of the door, or not the frame. It swings like fully open and smashes into the adjacent wall that the hinge is hanging on. But it does miss, and the goblin is alerted to your presence. So the goblin who is rummaging through a backpack, like, hears the door crash open, and he basically jumps up and runs and grabs a weapon off one of the racks and points it towards you.
Okay.
Initiative.
What all weapons do you guys have?
Longbow and 2 short swords.
What about you, Con?
Flail and a hand axe.
I guess we might be able to get some better equipment here. We'll have to find out if there's anything of value.
There's your initiative order. Jay, you're up.
So they're both at the door, right?
Yeah, you can probably not squeeze your way past.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you moved there just for sake. Are there any windows that I can like?
Yeah, I'd say the side of the building has like several windows.
Shoot through the window. Get him, mate.
All right, I'm going to move like here-ish.
Sure.
And then, can I break a window and then shoot through it?
You can use your action to break the window, but you will not be able to shoot through it.
Alright, I'm gonna...
You can attempt, I'll let you attack through the window of the glass with disadvantage, if that's what you would prefer to do.
I'm gonna just break the I'm assuming I'm in cover, right? I'm like...
Yeah, you'll be in full cover.
I'm just gonna break the window.
Outside. Sure. So you kind of walk up to the window and you kind of stick your... What kind of armor do you have? Leather, I'm assuming?
Yeah, leather.
So you just like stick your hand through the glass and basically like push out the glass, and then you're kind of like smashing down the remainders, leaving the window fully open.
And I already moved, so...
You can always... I don't know how much you did move.
I moved 3 spaces.
Okay, so you used your full movement then. But it's gonna be... So, So he's going to run up into the doorway with a longsword that he grabbed off of the racks that were sitting there, and he is going to make a melee attack against Zephyros, who is still in the doorway. So that is a 14 to hit, which is lower than your armor class. So he kind of runs up and goes to swing this longsword that he procured at you, and you just kind of thrusts his arm through the doorway to try and stab at you, and you just kind of bring the doorway closed and slam the door on his arm. And it kind of knocks the longsword out of his arm, or out of his hands.
So is he still in the building, or is he out of the building now?
He is standing with. He can't make it out of the building because you're in the way. He is standing with you in the doorway. After you knock the longsword out of his hand, he kind of reaches behind him and pulls a short sword out of his belt. Just kind of stares off with you. It is your turn.
I guess I'll try to stab him with the daggers I have.
Both daggers?
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh boy.
So...
+6. 4, yeah, attack bonus.
So 15 and 24? Or 25?
Yeah.
Those both hit, actually.
Then I'll roll for these. And with modifiers, 4, so it would be only modifier 1. 8 damage.
Alright. So, in the same way that you had almost decapitated the goblin before, you just bring your daggers quickly and you kind of push the door back open and you swing the 2 daggers and cut the goblin's throat and it falls over dead.
Okay.
Jeez, dude, give someone else a chance.
I'm sorry. I'm just gonna let you guys kill everything now.
You can,
Just gonna move away.
you step over the body of the goblin and into what you now know to be the Lion Shield Coster.
Okay.
I will follow into the building.
So
now that
there's-
I'm in here, I'm gonna go ahead and go to that backpack that the goblin was pulling on.
So you go over to the backpack and you kind of are searching through the backpack. It doesn't look like he was kind of like just starting to fill the backpack, so there's just like a couple small items in there, like a couple daggers in there that he was kind of stuffing in there as you initially arrived, because he had just kind of moved in here a couple hours ago.
Okay. Is there anything better than what I currently have, or are these also D4 daggers also?
No, they're just standard daggers, D4 daggers.
I guess go ahead and start looking around.
So this is kind of weird. I'm not sure how to play this. The characters who search the trading post can find anything in the adventurer gear table in Chapter 5 that is worth 10 GP or less. So what is it that you're looking for? I'll have you find whatever you are looking for, unless it is 10 GP or more.
I'm not sure what's on it actually.
Yeah, I don't know what's in it either.
Which one is it?
The adventuring gear list. don't have my PHB on me. I'll go and get it real quick.
This thing, it's all here.
That was like a warhammer.
Alchemist fire, book, ball bearings, candle, map kits. Good luck. Quiver and
I heard Sean say Warhammer. Is that what he wants?
We only get one thing.
Unfortunately, that's 15 GP, so there are none in the store.
I'm looking at it right now, seeing what I all have access to.
Can you fashion your own weapons?
You can make improvised weapons, yes, but they will not be as effective as regular weapons. I believe there is a way to just you can make magical weapons and other such things, but they take a long time and a lot of materials. And additionally, you need proficiency in certain things to make them. All right, we'll say that you find 3 daggers and a hand axe as you look around the store. The rest has been basically either stolen by other goblins in the attack, or kind of pilfered by someone else, or is in kind of a state that's beyond repair, you think. So you find 4 daggers and a hand axe.
Okay.
Alright, so I guess we'll give a hand axe to Sean, 2 daggers to Zephyros, and 2 daggers to me.
I already have 2 daggers. You can have 2 daggers. I don't need.
Oh, great. I'll have 4 daggers. What's the attack on a dagger?
Daggers are a thrown weapon and they're 1d4.
Oh.
They're thrown all melee.
Yes. All.
Bro, 4 daggers to throw? That's pretty lit.
Is it a dex weapon?
It is a finesse weapon, so you can use either strength or dex when using it.
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm gonna finally open this box that we have.
Alright.
This lion's head box.
So as you pull the ornately carved box out of your pack and open it up, there are 10 silvered darts in there. They look fairly fancy, actually.
Ooh.
Shiny.
Yep, it's a shiny. I keep it.
Really?
It's shiny.
So there's just 10 silver darts in it?
It does have 10 silver darts in it.
Okay. Note of that. Is there an upstairs to this building?
Sorry, what was that?
Is there an upstairs to this building?
There is not.
Hmm. Is there a dartboard in here that goes with those?
Sure.
Well, you don't
Yes,
have the
there's a
darts,
dart.
Sean, so...
There's a dartboard on the far wall.
What is
For my
that?
shinies, guys. My shinies.
What you say, Joe?
You don't have the darts, so you wouldn't be able to use them.
Well, maybe I fucking want one of the darts because I'm bored of this goddamn goblin shit. And I want to throw a goddamn dart, dude.
Your 2 health hate.
You could have
I
it
thought of myself.
accidentally. Critical failure, just bounce off the wall. Fucking stab yourself in the eye.
Crit fail, rolls a nat 1, crit fails, and Sean ends up killing himself.
You guys want to explore... What's this? This little hut thing?
We haven't explored any of those.
We could do 4D and then the garden.
Sure. I'm gonna let you guys take a little bit of the lead here, just so you guys can get the kills. I feel bad with taking all the kills.
Alright, we'll walk over to 4D.
So 4D is a small cottage. and you can see kind of past the cottage. There's like a large patch where the farmers who had been living here are growing turnips and potatoes. It's fenced in. The cottage hasn't been damaged by the giant bombardment, but you can see that there is a large rock in the patch of turnips in the back.
Okay.
As you walk up to the front of the door, you can see that the door to the cottage is hanging open.
I'll walk in.
Nice.
You walk in. It's a small cottage. There's not really much more exciting about it. You don't really see anything, but you can tell that this place has already been ransacked.
I walk out.
Okay. You walk back out.
Alright, let's move over to 4E.
Sure. So you can tell that as you walk around this very, very small cottage, as you walk up to the door, you have a feeling that it wasn't probably humans that lived here, because the door, you have to duck like really far down to get into the door. But around the cottage is a patch of well-maintained flowers, which are still remaining despite the giant attack. There's a lot of there are a lot of flower pots littered around the house.
Interesting.
But there is a large rock kind of positioned just off to the side of the entrance to the door. And under the rock, there is a halfling who is half sticking out from under the rock, and he has been crushed to death.
No. My brother.
Does the halfling have anything on him?
Wow. Make a perception check.
Maybe he has a key.
I want
Come
to stop
on.
him from doing this.
Maybe he has a key.
Alright.
I'm just looking at it. How are you stopping me from looking at it?
Make your
Get your eyes
perception
out.
check.
Wait, maybe it's
9.
a halfling, not a half.
So, from what you can see
Whatever.
of what's left of him, to even search his body, you would need to be able to move this rock. From what you can see remaining out from under the rock, he doesn't seem to have anything of value under him, on him.
We'll go to 4F.
Yeah.
I want to look inside the house real quickly, see if there's anything of value. Perception check there.
Can you
Alright.
squeeze past? Okay.
So you manage to squeeze past the rock and duck into the small building. It appears that goblins have already ransacked it. But go ahead and make your perception check.
Plus 6, 11.
Yeah, you kind of do a quick look around the small cottage. You don't find anything.
What is passive perception useful for?
Traps, and it's also, if you're not looking for something, their stealth is compared to your passive perception. So earlier, like when the two goblins approached you here, their stealth was compared to your passive perception, which they failed because they rolled incredibly low.
Alright,
And
let's
that's
move
why you
to,
noticed that.
4F.
Okay. So we're moving on to 4, if you said?
Yep.
Alright. So as you walk up to this building, you can tell that this building, you're at the wrong side of the building, by the way. You're at the back of the building.
I was following the path, dude.
Or actually, wait. No, you are at the right side. I'm sorry. It's weirdly shaped. You would think that this would be where
Right.
the entrance would be. Sorry. So as you walk up to this building, you can kind of see that there are several strange things about this building. Firstly, you can see that the windows to the house are shuttered. They are shuttered and locked shut. The door also has rows upon rows of ornate runes burned into it. Does anyone here understand Infernal?
No.
Right. so you can't tell what the runes mean, but there are several rows of ornate runes that are burned into the door of the house.
Okay.
I would
Touching that door.
like to open the door.
So
You
as
fucked
you
up.
press your hand into the door, you give it a good push, and it doesn't move. It appears to be locked.
I would like to
Whoa, you're lagging. I can't
This
understand what you're
camera's
saying.
320.
I would like to try to pick the lock on the door.
Alright, make a dexterity check.
And then my dex adds 4, 22, and then I have plus 2 more due to me having a 24.
Okay, so you basically just quickly fiddle with this lock, and then you kind of give it a jiggle, and it pops open.
Okay.
Alright, now
I'd
I would
like
like
to
to
open the
open
door.
the door. Fuck you, dude.
So you walk into the room, and it's another small cottage.
Dude, I wanted to open the door. I was trying to open it earlier. Alright, I wanna walk in and fucking look around.
Alright, you kind of look around the cottage. It's still mostly intact, but the only thing of interest you find is a kind of medium-sized wooden chest.
Alright, I'll go open the chest, see what's in there.
Alright. So you pop open the top of the chest, and you can see that there's several holy items in there. The wooden chest contains a healer's kit, a potion of healing, and a golden holy symbol of Asmodeus worth 75 gold pieces.
Holy hell.
And what was the last one?
A golden holy symbol of Asmodeus worth 75 gold pieces.
Alright, I walk over to Sean and I hand him the potion of healing. Here you go, Draxos.
Fuck yeah, dude.
75.
So a
gold
potion of
pieces.
healing is, it's a red liquid contained in a glass vial, and when you can drink it as a bonus action, should you like, in combat, and it will restore 2d4 plus 2 health points.
Yeah, you might want to drink that shit now, because you're at 2.
We'll drink the potion.
Roll your d4s. Alright, you gain 8 health.
Jay, was there anything of interest in that house?
There was a chest with
Anything of that?
a healer's kit, and that was it.
Make a deception check.
Oh man.
Make an insight check.
Me?
Yes.
Okay.
12.
Insight. 7.
As far as you know, he seems to be telling the truth. You have no reason to distrust him. He's such a friendly guy.
So fucked up.
Bro, I don't know what this is gonna do. I can't let him just like fucking.
Yeah, he's telling the truth, Zephyros.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. Never mind.
We don't know.
Let's go to the next
No.
one. Let's go to,
What was in there? A healer's kit. Yeah, he's telling the truth.
I want to walk to 4G.
Alright.
I'm saying this is the door, even though this looks like the door, but.
To 4G. Alright. So, as you are approaching this garden, you can kind of hear a conversation. I believe Sean is the only one that can understand Goblin, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Step aside, bitches.
So as you approach the front of the cottage, proceeding down the path, you can kind of hear into. As you pass by the gardens, you can tell that there's a pumpkin patch which resides behind the small cottage. And as you were proceeding up to the front of the cottage and getting ready to push open the door, you can kind of hear some sort of ruckus coming from behind the cottage. You hear two goblins talking.
Nice.
Flick, I catch you, Flick, you not escape me. Me catch you. You not catch me, Blick. You not catch me, no, you no catch me, no. I am too fast for you. But that is all you hear, but you can hear them rummaging around in the pumpkin patch, and you can tell that there are two goblins having a conversation.
Oh, they're outside
so,
the building.
Guys, are they inside? What?
No, they're in the pumpkin patch.
Oh, the patch. Guys, there's two goblins, and one is saying that he can't be caught. I guess he's fast. I'm gonna go.
We should check the building first.
Yeah. Can I walk in, or I don't know if the door's open like the other ones.
So as you approach the front of the cottage, the front door is hanging open. The cottage, though undamaged, is thoroughly ransacked.
All right.
Okay.
I would like to approach the goblins and say hello in Goblin.
It's so nice
So-
to meet you, friendly.
As you proceed around the side of the cottage and get ready to speak to the goblins, you can see that they're basically just running around the pumpkin patch. Both of the goblins have hollowed out eyeless pumpkins over top of their heads. They appear to be trying to play a game of tag.
Is there a reason to disrupt
I will-
this goblin's game tag?
I would like to join in.
Oh no!
I will take my hand axe and carve out a pumpkin.
All right,
I'll put
Easy
the pumpkin
enough.
on my head.
sure. You are now blinded. You're suffering from the blinded condition until you take the pumpkin off.
I would like to walk. Fuck. How's blind?
So while blinded, you can't see and automatically fail any ability check that requires sight. And attack rolls against you have advantage, and your attack rolls have disadvantage.
I say fuck this and throw the pumpkin.
Where are you throwing the pumpkin?
Or I'll take the pumpkin off and set it down on my feet.
That'd be funnier if you just do the pumpkin and hit the goblin right with it.
I want to play tag with her. I can speak Goblin.
You can. I never said you could.
Can I carve eye holes in the pumpkin?
Yes. Easy enough.
would like
You
to
carve
call-
icons in the pumpkin, and you are no longer blinded.
I like to put the pumpkin back on my head, and I walk into the patch.
Sure.
And in Goblin, I would like to say, tag you're it.
Okay, you didn't touch them though.
So as you say it, the goblins say, "Me know it," or "Me know it." Who are you? Who are you? We don't know you.
I friendly Goblin. You it. I know
Your
it.
name? What's your name?
This is just gibberish to us, right?
Yes.
Yes.
My name, Kinkle.
Make a deception check.
Oh my god.
Alright. So,
It's plus 3. It's 21.
alright.
It's
So
very deceptive.
what did you say your name was?
Kinkle.
Oh, Kinkle. Me not heard of you. You one of goblins serving under Droop?
Yes, yes.
Ah, Droop, good goblin, good leader. You play tag with us?
Yes, yes. I play tag.
You it though. And they both kind of run away from you and hide in corners of the pumpkin patch.
I whispered to Sean, ask them where Droop is. Or I
He
whispered to
can't hear you.
Draxos.
He can't hear you. He's like very far away from you.
True, he's
Out
like
of
30 feet away.
whispering range, and he has a pumpkin on his head. So that is also obscuring your attempts to whisper to him.
Hmm.
Um,
I will. Okay, I'll stealthily walk up to the fence, or I guess crouch up to the fence.
Sure.
Do you think they can hear me
Um,
from the corners? I guess. I don't know what
they
corners
they
they're in.
they cannot hear you if you're attempting to whisper. Or are you
Oh,
talking
holy
about
shit! It's
walking?
pretty far away. I'm talking
Yeah.
about like talking normally.
No, they can't hear you. Maybe.
That's a
far.
giant ass pumpkin patch. What the fuck?
Yep.
I'll tell Sean. Did you find anything useful? Or Draxos, did you find anything useful?
no, just some dumbass goblins playing tag.
Rude.
What was the goblin name?
Droop.
Droop. They're apparently working for a goblin named Droop. I'm gonna go talk to them some more.
Okay.
Watch my back.
Ask them where Droop is.
Okay, I shall.
I'll
I
hide
wanna
back
walk-
like behind the fence, I guess. And watch.
I want to walk more into the in here
Sure.
and say in Goblin, I come for you. I will find you.
Sure. You can't find you know find us. We expert hiders. Best hider in pack.
Well, you're talking, so I will find you. I walk and I guess
You can still see them. They have pumpkins on their head and they're not
Yeah.
doing a very good job of hiding.
I guess you said they're in corners, so I'm gonna walk to this corner.
As he hears you approaches, he kind of dashes in the other direction.
I see you. I come for you.
You not catch me. Me fast. Fastest goblin.
I walk over here.
Oh my gosh.
I close.
Alright, so he goes to dash and he tries to dash away from where he thinks you are, but he ends up just running straight into your chest. You tall goblin. He kind of puts his tiny hands on you, and he's kind of feeling like up your chest. You tall goblin, tallest goblin in pack.
Damn,
And,
make them your underlings.
The other goblin kind of like wants to confirm this, and he begins to slowly take off the pumpkin.
Ah!
What are you doing?
No, take pumpkin off. This is part of game.
Me done with game.
Me done with
Game-
game too. I'm out of this
game-
bitch. I'm out of
Game
this.
boring.
I'm out, dude.
So
Can I dash like fucking out of here, dude? Can I dash somewhere?
sure, I'd say you
Uh,
could dash up to 60 feet from where you were.
There's no squares, like, or did I just?
There are squares. It's not very well defined.
Yeah.
I guess this would be 3 squares.
Okay, I see Sean running, or I see Draxos running away from the pumpkins, and I would like to, running from the goblins, and I would like to attempt to fire an arrow at one of them,
Sure, make an attack with advantage.
since I have no idea what the fuck is going on. Holy shit. 25.
Is that a crit or no? Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah, that hits definitely. Go ahead and roll damage. Nice.
5.
So you kind of fire the bow, and it flies. Fuck were the goblins' names?
We didn't
Um,
find the goblins' names out.
Yeah, we didn't.
We
Fine.
did. They said their names.
Sean
They
knows.
Oh yeah. Sean knows and we don't know him.
It was Flick and Blick. So you fire the arrow and it flies and hits Blick in the shoulder, and he kind of screams in pain. I'm hit! I'm hit! Flick, I hit! And they both kind of move to take their pumpkins off. and they see standing awkwardly in the center of the field a large half-orc with a pumpkin with hollowed-out eyes in it. We're gonna have to fucking roll for initiative now.
Fuck. I tried, dude. Fuck, Flick.
You should have just silenced
I
him,
actually
dude.
got in, dude. Fuck, I should have crawled on my knees. I'm so bad. Fuck.
You should have dug a
dude.
hole and then put the lower half of your body in the hole.
I should have been like crawling. Fucking dumbass runs into me. What kind of shit is that?
It's a goblin. What do you expect, mate? What the business of goblin slaying?
Yeah, why didn't you persuade or intimidate him to keep his pumpkin on?
Oh,
Alright.
I could have. Fuck. Right.
There you go. AJ. Or sorry, I should put the goblins out so that you know.
We still have this one.
Sean, this is a goblin just ran into Sean. Perfect.
When did Sean
Alright.
get so big?
When he just made himself big. He just looks big next to the goblins. Alright, AJ, you're up. Or Jay, you're up, sorry.
Which one did I hit?
This one here.
Alright, I'll take aim at that one again.
Sure, make an attack.
$10.
So as it's taking off its pumpkin, you fire your arrow and it kind of gets stuck directly into the pumpkin, and the goblin just kind of holds the pumpkin in its hand in disbelief as an arrow flies into it. Is there anything else you want to do?
I guess I'll move behind this corner here.
Sure. Alright. So, Jilik is he's taken off his pumpkin and he turns to stare at Draxos. He's like, you know, goblin, you lie to me! And then he rushes you and tries to stab you with a short sword. You fucking liar.
You shouldn't lie to the goblins, mate. You shouldn't lie to the goblins.
Alright, so he kind of rushes up and sticks the dagger directly into your thigh.
Oh boy. At least Sean is healed a little bit now.
That's bad.
Hey, oh.
Alright,
Yeah,
you
hope-
take 6 piercing damage.
Hope it doesn't hit any
Oh my
arteries,
gosh,
dude.
mate, don't die. You just gained all that health only to have it taken away.
I know, we didn't
Drax-
get to save the potion. Ow.
Draxos, you're up.
I would have been knocked out though if I didn't take it.
Yeah.
I guess I will attack Jilik in front of me with my flail.
Sure, make an attack.
That's D20, right?
Yes.
And then
I think it's the first attack Sean has gotten all night.
Maybe if you're a dumbass and lose like 6 HP trying to climb a wall.
I rolled 15.
What is your attack modifier?
It's plus 6 on the flail.
It hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
8. Plus 4, 8.
Alright. So as the goblin kind of stabs you in the leg, you kind of roar in anger, and he kind of shrinks back a little bit, just in time for you to swing your flail and just smash his head completely off.
Oh my
he's dead.
god.
You see,
Good
Flick?
job.
You see what I do to your friend, Flick? I squish. I squish.
Make an intimidation check.
Yeah, I love it. Okay,
16.
20.
Alright. Flick kind of drops his weapon as you stand above what used to be his friend's corpse. and you can see a large wet spot form in what serves as the goblin's trousers, as it basically just turns and begins to sprint in the opposite direction.
That's a fast fucking goblin, goddamn.
And that is going to be Flick's turn. He is afflicted by frightened.
Get fucked.
There's a lot of fucking squares, dude.
Okay,
Six
I'm
squares. He has 30 movement. Dashing is 6.
Can you dash diagonally?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
what the fuck? I didn't
I
know
don't know.
that.
Can you move diagonally in real life, AJ? Or are you restricted to the squares on a grid?
I'm up next, right?
I've been under the assumption that I cannot move diagonally.
You can move diagonally.
You can move diagonally.
I'm pretty sure Zephyros is up. I don't know.
Yes,
Yeah,
he
I'm
is.
gonna move into position and try to take a shot at like here.
Where are you?
I'm right
Exactly.
here. I'm gonna go ahead and move up to, I guess.
Holy, that's
Here.
a long ass shot.
I think you will not be able to get it. The fence makes it difficult terrain, so you'll have to use extra movement to climb over, unfortunately. So I could say you can get right up in front of the fence, but you won't be able to climb over with your 30 feet of movement.
How if I use flight and go from the air
Sure.
and go fly above the fence and then take my shot from in the air?
What does fright
I'm
do?
gonna check the range on the short bow here.
I don't know what the range on a short bow is, but I'm pretty sure you're attacking with disadvantage.
Short bow 5e.
Yeah, it's 80.
I got like 110.
80 is the
If
range.
if I had to.
And up to 320. But
Yeah, it's up to 320 with disadvantage.
yep. Okay. So I'm gonna go over here. Three. It will not hit. That's actually +6. Yeah, not hitting. That's 9.
So you fly into the air and you let loose an arrow, but unfortunately falls short of.
What do you think the range on a longbow is?
I think it's like 110.
Longbow 5e. It is 150.
Holy shit.
But it is your turn, Jay.
I count like 14 squares.
Yeah, you're within range.
You wouldn't be like that angle. You just go diagonally. You fire diagonally. You don't have to go. You went left. You just go diagonally.
Well, I went diagonally, like to where he was, and then up.
Well, technically we'd have to like do the fucking geometry, fucking Sokotoa shit to calculate the distance, but I don't want to do that. So we'll rule that he's within range of the longbow from where he is now.
All right, I'll fire a longbow shot.
I count 14 squares. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's gonna miss.
We just
Draxos, you're up.
Wait, I'm moving. I'll leave there.
I have still 3 squares of movement, right?
Yep. Unless you dash, in which case you have 6.
Alright, can I dash? Is this an opening here? Or is it
Yes, it is. You
Okay.
can climb over the fence. It's just going to cost you an extra square of movement.
okay. 1, 2, 3, and then so it costs 5 to hop the fence, and this would be 6 right here.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's my turn.
You scared Flick away, mate. Why would you scare Flick away? He's been on for his life.
Because I squish.
I know who you squish.
I squish Jilik's head.
I saw.
So this goblin's going to dash again.
Man, fuck this goblin. Let's loot this body and all this shit.
Oh, I plan to.
Alright. Do you want to continue combat, or?
Do you we want to continue going after this guy or no? I have flights, so I will be able to move within 50, or I can move 50 flights, which will spaces.
I mean,
It's up to you if you guys really want to get this goblin or not.
we
I
might
think-
have to.
I
kill
think
him
we should.
because- Yeah, I don't know what he's gonna do.
He might leak information.
Yeah. We haven't left the goblin alive yet, so.
Okay, I'll just fly for 50 speed there for 1, 2, 3. That would be right about here. Take another shot. Which will be another disadvantage shot, it looks like.
Alright. Go ahead and roll your attack.
It's lower,
Damn.
it's a 12.
Misses.
Okay.
I think you should just like dash north, or that's not north. You should just dash like
Well, I'm
east.
in the air right now. I'm in the air right now.
Oh, you don't get extra movement in the air.
No, I can't dash
actually-
in the air.
Is that how it works? I'm not aware of anything that says you cannot dash in the air.
And then I just thought I couldn't.
Alright, I'll just dash over here. And I'll yell at Draxos, get after him.
I shall.
Yes, dashing applies to all movement, so you can dash while flying.
You should just try and cut him off, like dash straight up.
You can't dash this turn because you used your action to attack. Fortunately.
Well, yeah, I know, but I was gonna say, it's AJ was moving.
Yeah, I
Okay.
already moved.
Then it's Draxos.
It's not Jux's turn?
No.
Chuck was dead, bro.
Flex,
Chick is
sorry.
dead. Chick is dead, I believe.
Can I like throw my hand axe?
You can,
Way out of range.
actually, yes. But,
If I move, if I dash,
you cannot dash and throw your hand axe in the same turn.
I don't know what the range of that is, but
It is
What
20
range?
feet and then 60 feet. 60 feet is your maximum range, 20 feet is your max range without disadvantage.
What is
You
this?
get to about right here, Sean.
What is this
It
5
is
feet,
a-
10 feet thing?
It is a hill.
Oh.
The windmill sits on top of a large hill.
I'll dash here and let's do that.
Sure. Alright, it's Flick's turn.
We're just chasing down this one lonely goblin.
Jesus Christ, dude.
Well, we're making our way to 2F, so.
I'll just, I guess, fly with a dash here all the way.
Oh my god.
I hit 50 movement speed, so it'd be, should be 10 squares.
That's correct, yeah.
Holy shit.
And that's all I can do. That was a dash.
Alright, Jay, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna dash over to where Jilik died. Since
Sure.
I don't think I'm gonna be able to catch up to the goblin over there. I think Zephyros has it with his fucking 10 squares of movement speed.
Sure.
Oh, I think the goblin died
Advantage
right
of
there.
wings.
Is that all you're doing?
Can I like check the corpse?
Um,
Considering I dashed.
Sure.
Alright, what's this bitch got
The
on
corpse does not have anything on it.
Alright.
Cheap bastard.
I feel like we're just killing this guy just for the hell of it.
What if he leaks information? I don't know.
Man, I don't want to go back to fucking Droop. Be like, yo. Bunch of
Yeah,
fucking
true.
big
Might go back
bitches.
through.
Maybe Droop is at 2F. I don't know where Droop is.
It's my turn then.
Yes.
I want to move 1, 2, 3. Can I throw? I want to throw my axe.
Is that in range?
I don't know. Actually, I don't remember.
6 is your range. With the disadvantage.
It's not.
I'll say he's just barely in your range.
I count.
1, 2, 3,
6.
4, 5. Well, I don't know if he was in this square or this one.
He's kind of straddling it. I'm going to rule that he's within range for you to make an attack with disadvantage.
Okay, 20?
2 d20s.
You take the lowest of whichever number you get for disadvantage.
Ooh,
So an 11.
Okay,
Decent.
11. What do I add to that?
Whatever
Your
your modifier is.
strength mod, and then your proficiency bonus.
Okay, so it's +6.
you got 15.
So it's 21. What?
You got 11.
Yeah,
Plus. It
plus
should...
the 6 on the hand axe.
What?
That's
Yeah.
17.
It
Yeah,
hits.
plus-
Go ahead and roll
Oh,
damage.
6.
Oh, it just confusing me.
I don't know where you got 21
Alright,
from then.
hand axe, because I added the strength.
It's 1d6.
Yeah, sorry. Here we go.
So 8 then. Alright, so you kind of sprint up and you heave this hand axe and kind of flies through the air in a perfect arc and sticks directly into the back of the fleeing goblin, who falls over unmoving.
There you go, you got him, mate. You got him.
Fucking archer in this
Hell
bitch.
yeah. That's me. Yeah, don't forget I shot him already.
Okay.
I shot him in the shoulder.
There you go, guys. You got killed without me for this time.
AJ did and I did. I fucked him up.
Hey, I killed that chicken, remember?
I squish. Is
AJ
combat
was
over
fucked.
then, or?
It is over, yes.
Alright.
Alright, I wanna go get my axe back. That's my axe.
Alright, so you walk up to the corpse of the goblin and you kind of put your foot on him and kind of jerk your axe out of his back. It makes like a meaty thud as you kind of rip it out of him.
Hell yeah.
I will
Um,
meet up with my comrades.
What?
I'll meet up with my comrades. I was at the pumpkin field.
Oh.
And I'll tell them that there's nothing on the goblin's corpse.
Can I wipe the axe off on the grass? Kind of clean it up?
Sure, yeah, of course.
And then I like to loot.
You kind of... Oh, sure, yeah. The goblin has a pouch on him that contains 4 copper pieces and 3 silver pieces.
You want me to hold on to those, Draxos?
Yeah, you can. I'll give him to Jay.
Is 4 copper and what?
3
3
gold.
silver.
Oh,
3
sorry.
silver. Relax there, dude.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But you kind of wipe the hand axe off on like some nearby foliage. You get like most of the grime off, but it still smells like goblin funk.
This stink.
You're not a goblin.
He's now goblin. He's a goblin now. I want to try to get fly up this hill. And
Does Sean still have a
basically-
pumpkin on his head?
Yes.
Yes!
Yeah, you didn't take it off.
Yo!
I'm
I'm a killer pumpkin, dude. I fucking.
I thought he took it off.
Oh my god.
I thought he took it off too.
I'm keeping this goddamn pumpkin in.
You didn't say you took it off, so...
I'm keeping it, dude. Take it
It's
off.
hilarious. I'm gonna go up to the windmill up here, fly up to it,
Alright.
and listen, like basically listen and see if I can see anything that's going on in this. I'm not entering it, just outside of it though.
Make a perception check.
13 plus 6, 19.
Unfortunately, even as good of a roll that is, can't really hear over the grinding and turning of cogs and gears that are operating the millstone. It's very loud.
All good.
Alright, I guess I will walk up this big fucking hill.
Good terrain.
And
Alright,
I
you
will...
slowly climb the hill. It takes a bit of effort because there are sections that are quite steep. but you manage, panting, to make it your way to the top of the hill and join your companion.
Find anything useful up here, Zephyros?
Not yet. I just can only hear the windmill. I'm not sure if there's anything inside yet. I haven't been able to look inside.
I'll walk to the front of that.
Sure.
I will follow.
The door to the windhill is kind of open. It's hanging just a hair open. But what you can see through the crack in the door is that the windmill's interior is very dark and gloomy and filled with various machinery. It's a bit difficult to see.
I have dark vision.
You sure do. It's not as difficult for you to see.
Do you guys
Is that
want
like
any
Like
torches?
a passive or something?
Yes.
Oh.
Do you guys have any torches on you?
I do.
I do not have a torch, Zephyr.
I do have a torch.
I have a blanket. You look at fire?
I guess I'll light a torch with my tinderbox,
Sure, easy enough.
and I will hand it to Draxos.
Alright. Draxos has a torch.
He's a fucking pumpkin torch murderer.
Smash
I'll
the goblin's head open with the torch.
with my torch, my hand, I will go to push, slowly push the door open and peek in.
So as you push the door to the mill open, you can see it's very tall. There are several sections of ladders leading to the upper levels of the windmill. But as you push your way into the windmill, the light of the torch kind of fills up the windmill, and you hear several goblin voices.
Shit.
We got this.
Yuck.
You know, with the torch.
Yuck! Yuck! Intruders! Intruders come! Is that a fucking pumpkin? Alright.
Great pumpkin monsters.
Okay. 1 second.
The legendary pumpkin.
Oh, I have advantage on wisdom and survival checks apparently.
Okay.
I didn't. It's because of a favorite enemy thing. I didn't even know I had.
Again, what's your favorite enemy, though?
Why do I have 3 languages? Is that because of my favorite enemy?
Probably.
I guess it's dwarvish or dwarves and elves.
Humanoids cannot be your favorite enemy, I do not believe.
Well, then I guess that's not the reason.
Wait. You can select 2 races of humans.
Yeah. I don't know why I have 3.
You would only learn. It's probably from your background. What's your background? Outlander?
Yeah.
That's probably it then.
Humans get 1 additional language, and then Outlander probably. You get 1 of your choice.
What you're allowed to choose between your favorite enemy is aberrations, beasts, celestials, constructs, dragons, elementals, fae, beings, giants, monstrosity, oozes, or plants or undead.
You can also choose humanoids, but you can only choose 2 types of humanoids.
Okay.
So you probably want to decide now what your favorite enemy is, because that's semi-relevant.
Yeah.
So I get 1 favorite enemy,
That's correct.
or 2 humanoid favorite enemies instead.
That's correct.
I'll send a list here, and what you're allowed to choose from, and just paste it here, just so you have a list in case you want any of those ones.
I'm definitely choosing beasts.
Okay.
I think giants are. Oh yeah.
Well, I don't want to. We know the enemy's a giant. I don't want to really do that. And that giant's not something I would normally pick anyway.
Alright. Your favorite enemy is beasts then. Just kind of keep track of that on your character sheet. You also want to remember that anytime we're fighting beasts, because...
Yeah.
You would a bonus against those wargs in the first part there.
It wouldn't have mattered. Nothing happened to those words anyway.
But yeah, I'm gonna have roll for initiative. Jeez.
Yeah, first.
Alright, go ahead and grab your minis, because this is like a semi-complicated thing that I'm gonna have to draw out.
Okay. Don't drop me into the ocean over here.
I'm also supposed to choose one particular environment for Natural Explorer.
Wait, sorry, I didn't grab my,
1 sec, let me see what environments you can choose from here.
no, I got it, sorry, I got it.
Natural Explorer, okay, yeah. Here's the ones you can choose from, AJ. And with that,
Why can I not draw? What the heck is happening? Hello?
this is the bonuses you get when you,
Ah, what is fucking happening?
whatever you choose.
No, I didn't want them on the fucking thing. Get rid of this shit.
I guess I'll choose Forest. Makes the most sense.
Okay. Hey guys, you can't get lost now.
In Forests.
Correct, yeah.
It's
And
pretty
also
useful.
your food.
It's the poorly drawn door.
Where did my mini go?
Underneath the thing.
Oh, it wasn't like on top of it.
Because the thing disappeared during the middle of it.
Fuck.
Alright.
Just to, oh, okay. Excited, I thought there was more of me. I was like, hey, there's more of me. Yeah. And then no goblin.
Alright, so there's 2 floors. There's kind of like a circular thing that's up there. There's like a 20-foot ladder that you have to climb to get up to the 2nd floor. But everyone's basically in the doorway here.
Okay. Do they know? They know Sean's here. Do they know everyone else is here? They can see us, all of us.
No, they can only see the pumpkin-headed man with the torch.
Okay.
The rest of you are like outside the door.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and go in the building. And try to get like behind something for cover.
Sure, there's like several hay bales. I'll say that you can get in like 3/4 cover.
Which side's the hay bales on?
We'll say it's on the right side.
I'm guessing beasts don't speak language.
They do not.
Correct.
Damn.
It depends what kind of beast. Some of them may speak a language.
It all depends. For intelligence, most aren't intelligent. There's a few.
But it is Jay's turn.
Uh,
Unless you pick up speech, beast.
so are they above us?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I'll walk in. Can I shoot them from here? Or are they like
You can, but they'll be in half cover, so they'll get a bonus, 2 bonus to their AC.
Okay, I'll attempt to shoot.
Alright.
Longo. I don't know which one Longo is.
This one will be Yek, and this one will be Longo.
I'll attempt to shoot Longo.
Sure. Make a range attack.
That's 21.
That'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Got a Longo here. Hopefully.
That is 8.
Yeah. So you kind of push past Sean, who still has the pumpkin on his head, and you kind of draw your bow as you're running inside the windmill, and you quickly flick an arrow onto the upper floor, and you manage to hit Longo directly in his head, and he kind of droops forward and falls off the rafters onto the floor, the first floor of the building.
Okay.
Draxos, you're up.
I'll attempt to throw my axe on the second floor at Yek.
Alright. Yeah.
Actually, maybe I'll move first. Like, I'll move here.
Sure. These are 5-foot squares again, by the way, so you can move up to 6.
I'll move here. Seems good.
Sure. He will have half cover, but you can go ahead and make your
2d20,
attack.
right?
No, just 1, because you no longer have disadvantage. Because, is it 20 feet? You would have disadvantage. It's fine. We'll say that you don't, because I was being stupid. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Or what did you hit? A
13 plus 6 plus 4, right?
6 plus 4. That's a
We're
lot of
gonna
pluses.
No, it's just the 6.
Just a 6.
The 6 is
Four.
to hit, the 4 is to the damage.
I thought I had to add my strength. Okay.
You do. That's part of the 6.
Yeah. It's, you have that, and then your professional, your
So you take your roll of a d20, you add the relevant attack stat to the roll,
19.
which is strength. It hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Uh, 10.
So you kind of heave the axe onto the second floor, and you hit the second goblin, and he kind of similarly falls off the rafters onto the floor with an axe in him. Now your axe is twice as smelly with goblin blood. But yeah, that's the end of combat. You guys are making short work of these goblins.
I'm rubbing that fucking goblin slush on me. I'm gonna blend in.
who are you, Goblin Slayer?
Yes.
Alright, yeah, you kind of wipe the axe on your chainmail, kind of making like streaks of war paint. But yeah, it smells pretty foul, honestly. It's pretty rancid.
Fuck.
But you smell like a goblin now.
Congratulations.
I'm a goblin. A little tall, so it's probably.
It's difficult to smell it around the fucking smell of pumpkin, but
You smell like pumpkin and goblin.
Fuck, I must stink like shit, dude. I smell like pumpkin and goblin. Like, can I
Good thing
loot?
I'm
I guess
near-
I'll loot Longo since I killed him.
No, I'm near Longo though, dude.
I killed
Good
him.
thing I'm a bird. I don't have
Son of a
scent
bitch.
glands.
Fine, I'll loot Yek after you loot Longo.
each of them has a pouch on them that contains 6 copper pieces.
I'll give-
I'm going
I'll give
to
mine to
investigate the
Jay.
windmill.
What'd you say, Matt?
I'm trying to investigate the windmill.
Okay.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I'm giving my pieces to Jay.
Thanks,
So it's
Draxos.
12 copper?
Yeah.
So it's-
Station. One. I have a 2. Oh, I rolled a nat 1, so I'm very, very bad.
You don't find anything of note in the windmill. And as you're searching the windmill, you kind of stick your hand in between one of the cogs and it rips your arm. I'm just kidding. But
What
Yeah.
the fuck?
I know some GMs who do critical fails like that. It's not supposed to be that bad. It's just some people go a
So
little overboard with it.
is there like a rule against sitting there and investigating over and over again?
Yes, I won't let you do that.
Okay.
That's the rule.
No, I was just curious.
Technically, there isn't a rule. It's basically however the DM wants to play it, though. They can do it, but
If there was something
obvious.
defined that was super obvious, the thing that stops you from just keep rolling over and over again is your character knows that you found nothing,
Okay.
right? So if you like thoroughly searched somewhere and didn't find anything, be like, I'm gonna thoroughly search this place again.
Yeah, it's more storyline for purposes why you don't want to do that.
I'm gonna walk out.
Wait, leaving?
There's nothing in the windmill, so there's nothing to find.
Okay.
Oh, let me get rid of this. Grab your minis, guys.
It should just fall on the table.
Alright, if you say so.
I didn't grab it
Clicking this-
earlier.
Clicking this board is an interesting experience. I cannot click it. Hello? I can't fucking click it.
I got it.
There we go.
Go away. Okay.
Where'd you guys like to go next? Oh no.
Oh no.
What the fuck?
No, we were snuggling.
Okay. Let's. You wanna look at 2F? Because the goblin was running that way, and I'm
Sure.
But.
Sounds good.
Hey, dude, Jay's just snuggling everyone.
I didn't do that.
Alright, so as you approach the southwest guard tower, a falling rock is punched through the roof of this tower, collapsing everything but the outermost wall. Yep.
Okay, so that's pointless.
Oh, that shit's useless.
We have 4A, we have 4H, and then the guard towers.
We never found a key.
Wait.
Hey, you okay?
I'm just exercising.
Okay.
So
Alright,
yeah,
let's
we
do
still
a
found
4A.
key.
Alright,
Yeah.
well, let's go. Let's head towards 4A.
I believe you actually already rummaged through 4A during the first session when you were investigating the farm.
I think it's
Oh,
like
okay.
one of the first things we did, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We didn't
So
do.
all the houses are good then, except for 4H, which is right over
We
here.
can move to 2E, unless you guys want to cross the bridge.
Let's do 4H. We didn't do that yet.
Didn't we?
No,
Oh shit.
because
No,
we got
we-
it in conflict.
we got-
attacked
oh,
by
oh.
goblins.
This tower as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We didn't do 2D either, or 2C, or 2B.
We didn't do any of the guard towers, from my understanding. At least
Alright,
I
let's do this building and then we can move to the tower.
I think we searched 2A and the one next to it in the first
Yeah,
session.
we did do 2A. We did these two. We didn't do 2B or 2C.
See.
Alright. So 4H is just kind of open to the atmosphere. Like, there's a rock that's come and destroyed, like, both floors of the house, leaving, like, a collapsed section. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here. You can still go in if that's what you guys want to do.
I'm fine to move to 2E. Unless you guys want to explore.
We're gonna walk on over to 2E guard tower.
No, I'm not gonna explore that place. Alright. So you
Why
head
keep
over.
doing that makes me want to explore it.
So as you walk over to the southeast tower, the door to the top jar, you can see several tracks leading into the guard tower. It seemed to be fairly fresh.
Okay. I'm gonna
What did you? Are you still carrying that torch, by the way? What are you doing with it?
Um, I guess I'll put it out and hand it back. Can
How
I
are you
like?
putting it? How are you putting it out?
With his armpit.
Is this like?
Just shove it in the dirt.
Okay. Well, I'll smother it in the dirt.
Sure.
And hand it
I
back.
have a dirt-covered torch.
Nice.
Here you go, Jay. Thanks.
Thanks.
30 carats.
All right.
torch.
I want to walk into the tower. Or this
Alright.
tower. I'm fucking tired. I guess there's a ladder, or I don't know. Like.
No, it's a guard tower. It's got a first floor that you can walk into. The door is
Okay.
open.
Right. I'll walk in.
There are two goblins inside the tower. They're just kind of searching through the tower for treasure. Let's go ahead and grab your minis. So the two goblins are basically sitting along the far wall. They're like rummaging through some various sundries that they found in the guard tower. As you guys I'd say that all of you guys are basically in the doorway, so you can have your characters like here, here, and here.
Okay.
What this was 2E, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Indeed.
Alright,
I would like to. Oh, we're in combat.
you are in combat. Unless, the goblins, fine, the goblins turn to you and look at you. They're like, what the fuck? Is that guy wearing a pumpkin on his head? He kind of smells like a goblin. But they're basically pointing their bows at you. Or actually, these two don't have bows. They're kind of brandishing their short swords and looking like they're ready to stab the hell out of you.
I don't know, like if I could persuade them I'm a goblin. They see. Ah. Okay. I guess I'm in this square,
Yeah,
Yep.
somewhere around there.
and I get Sony.
3. You have 30.
I mean, if we're doing stuff, we're following initiative order, so might be your turn.
Oh, sorry.
And unless are you doing something to make the goblins not attack you? Because otherwise, they're getting like ready to fight.
I guess I'm gonna shout out and do not fear goblins. I am one of you.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Okay. Or that's 2, right? My bad.
Yeah, you roll 2.
Yeah, just roll another one.
The lowest.
Holy shit. Unfortunate.
I'll just roll another one. I mean,
Oh shit.
Fucking kidding me? Alright,
Yes.
so, you walk in with this pumpkin on your head, and the goblins are like, you goblin? You hobgoblin, big goblin. Big goblin like Droop.
Oh,
yes, I am Droop brother.
Droop? Me no Droop brother. Why you come with us? Droop no mention you.
I on secret mission to watch over goblins and make sure the group is looting everything and getting all the treasure they can find.
As you're like kind of they're getting closer to you to talk to you. They kind of take notice of the fact that you're covered in blood. Like, sorry, what did you say your name was?
Kinkle.
Kinkle, you covered in blood. You injured? You need help?
Are we visible to
No,
them?
What?
Are me and Zephyros visible?
I'd say yes. Yes, you are.
You motherfuckers. You're ruining everything. Me no injured, me kill intruders.
You come with intruders. These men are humans. Why you bring humans here? They no look killed.
I don't want to fucking play.
I'm not human.
You guys are awful, dude.
Bro, I didn't
How am I supposed to like,
cover for us, bro.
Ooh,
We were prisoners, right?
yeah,
I take them to group.
no, these intruders, Drew told me to capture and bring them to him for execution.
All right, give me a. All right, can we do you mind if we take like a 5-minute break? Because my voice is starting to go for a second.
Go right ahead, go get a drink, whatever.
Are you guys fine with that, or?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Mate.
Huh?
You're just trying to trick the cattle.
Dude, I speak goblin. I gotta take advantage. And I mean, I still smell like one.
And you have a pocket on your head.
Exactly. They can't see my face. I think I should start walking on my knees though, so I'm like shorter. Cause I don't. Fuck this.
No,
Dude.
they think you're a hobgoblin now.
I mean,
They think you're a hobbit goblin.
you fucking idiots in plain view. We'll see how long this goes.
I didn't say I walked in the building. Mike told me that I was on the inside.
Yeah, Sam.
Well, we were in combat right away, but I just didn't think we were because their backs were. I guess we were loud though. I was loud. I'm not
yeah,
sneaky.
you
So.
fucking. So basically, just I also have a high deception roll, so I'll just say, yeah, we're your prisoners.
I don't think you should say that.
You also can't speak goblin.
yeah,
so.
yeah. It sounds like gibberish. You don't even know what's going on.
Well, most goblins I thought speak common also.
I have their sheets right here. Let me check.
They have common, thieves. I could speak in
Yeah,
thieves.
these goblins do speak common. Yeah.
We wouldn't know that Sean told them we were prisoners.
True.
You hear? Oh yeah, because you don't speak goblin. Fuck. No,
So-
you gotta roll. You gotta role play. It is what.
So, okay, so where we left off, Sean said that you guys were prisoners. And you said that you were taking, what exactly did you say again?
Taking them to Droop to be executed.
So, why you come here then? Take them to Droop.
Ask where
Silence, prisoner! And he kind of holds his short sword, like, threateningly at you, but it's intimidating because it's, like, very small.
I go to Droop now, but I wanted to make sure that the army was doing well.
We know army. We pack. Pack no army. We not know this word. What is army?
Mate, you're gonna ruin it.
Army is another word for pack.
Okay. Sure.
Oh,
We like
What-
this word, army. Yes, army strong. Army loot guard towers. We do good job for Droop.
sorry, to cut out of the role playing, but are they in front of me?
Yeah, I'd say that they've kind of approached the group at this point.
Which one's which? Snock and Laru.
The one right in front of you is Laru.
Okay.
You don't know this though.
Yeah, I know.
They haven't said their names.
Well, I'm gonna speak to him, or how do I like? You do good. You both do good. I tell Droop how good you're doing.
Many thanks. Me want become Droop lieutenant.
You might. What is your name?
Me name is Laru. It's good name, strong goblin name. We come from strong goblin pack.
Laru, I loot the prisoners when I capture. Would you like to see what's in this pouch? It's pretty.
Yes, show me. And he kind of runs over to you.
Okay, I want to stab him in the throat.
Right. Go ahead and make an attack with advantage. Or what are you stabbing him in the throat with, a dagger?
Sorry, oh, fuck.
Well,
I want to slash it. Yeah, like slash his throat with my hand axe, I suppose.
All right, make an attack with advantage.
behead him, mate. Behead him.
Is that just 1d20 and then
2d20s, and then you choose the highest.
Oh, okay, makes sense then. Okay. So it's 13 plus the 6.
Yep, that hits. Go ahead and roll
Okay.
damage.
Okay, it's 6. Okay, 9.
You behead him. You basically, he walks up to you to see what's in this pouch, and as he's like staring in your open hand, you bring your other hand overhead and just lop his head directly off.
Does it fall in the pouch?
It does not, because the pouch is not open. He was waiting for you to open it. And then Snack is basically there, standing there like, no, Laru, no, you kill Laru. Why? Why you kill Laru? And he's. God.
I kill Laru because I oversee Laru. Laru is not strong goblin. I don't want to share a treasure with Laru. I wanted to save the treasure just for you, so we had to get rid of Laru.
Make a deception check with disadvantage.
Fuck! Alright, come on team, I'm fucking clutching this shit.
This is Sean's adventure with goblins.
6.
No. He looks furious. He absolutely does not believe you. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go with initiative order now.
Well, I got one out of the way.
I'm moving behind him,
Sure.
and I'm gonna attack him with my short swords.
Sure, make 2 attacks attacking with short swords.
Yeah.
Alright, make the first attack with advantage, and then we'll see what happens. Make the second attack.
Okay.
14 for the first one.
No,
So
8 there. So
8 plus his mods.
Which is 6. It's 14.
14.
okay.
So you kind of do like a combat roll and swing around behind the back of the goblin, and you swing your short sword, and it manages to dip its head just in time for your short sword to swing over. Go ahead and make your second attack with advantage. It's another miss. So you swing the second short sword, and the goblin again just kind of ducks even further forward, and your short sword swings over his head. Draxos, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna just move this one square and attempt to attack with my flail.
Sure, go ahead and make a regular attack.
These goblins are huge.
That hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Just plus the 4, right? Not the 6.
Yeah, just 4.
Okay, it's 5.
Yeah, so you kind of bring this flail and you kind of bring it up, kind of uppercut him with it. You kind of swing it and just bring it up under his chin, and it smacks him under his chin, and he falls backwards. But he moves to get back up again. So he is gonna, in return, make a short sword attack against you. And we'll say that he has disadvantage because I said he was knocked prone, and I probably shouldn't have said that.
Unlucky.
So that's 11 to hit, which misses. So he kind of goes to jab you with his short sword, but you just kind of stomp his arm with your boot, and he can't even manage to lift his arm off the ground. Zephyros, you're up.
I'm just gonna go ahead and try to shoot him with my bow.
You will have disadvantage because he is prone.
Okay, then I'll just move forward and try to stab with my dagger then.
Sure. One dagger or both daggers?
Both daggers. There's plenty of both daggers.
Sure, make 2 attacks with advantage because he is prone.
First attack.
That hits.
I have
Go ahead and roll
6
damage.
modifier. 4. Plus 4 on top of that. 7.
Yep.
One
So
dagger.
you kind of walk over to this goblin that Draxos is pinning to the ground with the heel of his boot, and you just kind of go over and stab him directly in the chest, and he just kind of gurgles before falling silent.
There we go.
Yeah, that's the end of that.
No, snack. The legendary.
Alright, let's fucking.
Oh my god, first of
Let's
all.
loot
Bro, I lured
these
that
shits.
goblin in and
Wait.
Bro, that whole time you were saying, oh no, I fucked it up.
well, I wanted to get both of them like easily, but of course it wasn't that easy because he saw his friend fucking die.
Alright, what are we doing?
Looting.
Alright, this is, I don't remember what watchtower we're in.
Like 2E or something?
Yeah.
Okay,
Which one is it? It's the one on the north side here. Is that?
It's southeast, I think, right?
Yeah, it's the one in the southeast. Gone.
each of the goblins has a sack that they have filled with stolen loot. Laru's sack contains 3 vials of perfume, worth 5 gold pieces each, and some stolen utensils, which are fairly worthless.
Hey, Laru sucks. Let's figure it out.
And then Snock has a sack containing a battered copper flagon emblazoned with a grinning visage of a halfling, worth 1 gold piece.
I don't even know what that is.
A flagon?
Yeah.
It's a cup.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm going to look around the tower, see if there's anything else.
Sure, make a perception check.
Go over here. +6, 19.
You give like a look around the rest of the guard tower, but it doesn't seem to contain anything of note.
Okay.
All right, let's head out.
Whoever can delete the fucking board, just go ahead and do it. I can't seem to fucking click on it. There we go.
Yeah, we're down here. Where do you guys want to go now?
Let's go explore 2D.
Oh god, you want to go all the way? Are we gonna explore 2C?
We
Do you,
said
wanna go
it's
to,
2C.
do you just want to head to the castle here, or do
Yeah, I
you
kind of
wanna
just want to head to the
head
castle.
back to 8?
Alright, that's fine. Let's do that.
You can either head back to 8, or that's actually an interesting thing. I don't feel like these towers are going to have much besides.
I don't feel like
Solid.
we got anything of importance to bring back to.
The only thing we got the only interesting building was 8, really, and then also 9. So I made note of this too.
I want to know what she says about my pumpkin head. Alright,
Alright,
let's go over
let's
there.
walk
This
over to
bridge
the
is broken. Guys, the boulder broke the bridge.
I can fly over it if I was to.
So, as you approach, the bridge is a 70-foot long, 10-foot wide sloped bridge used to connect the village bailey to the moat. However, a falling rock struck the bridge and destroyed a 15-foot long section of it, cutting off Nandar Keep from the village.
Okay.
That's all there is.
How long is this gap?
I can carry someone across if someone needs.
It's about 20 feet, I'd say.
Matt's going to carry
So I could be-
AJ over.
I could carry AJ over. I have 50 flight speed, and I'd be down to carrying you. How much do you weigh? What's your weight?
What's my weight?
Yeah.
145.
I don't know your human size.
Huh?
I don't know how big you are. So I'm trying to figure out how big you are, so figure out.
5'9", 145.
Okay. I have 11 strength, so that modifier, it would be 10 times, over 10 times. So it had to be.
You also have to factor in everything that he's carrying as well.
True.
So I'd say that you probably cannot carry them
Okay.
as of now.
I was just trying to figure out if I could carry them over or not. I could go over myself. And does anyone have like a rope or something that I could like
Yeah,
get across this bridge?
I have 50 feet of hempen rope.
If you guys can, that would be difficult for you guys, but I could get it to the other side and tie it off to something.
Sure,
Sure, you can do that.
I'm down. Have a
Do you think that-
rope.
You could, looking at the way that the bridge is sloped, like it slopes like downward. Alright, hold on. Fucking bridge. Which part is the lower part? Bridge is sloped.
I'm assuming more the lower parts and it goes up.
Yeah, I'm assuming
I don't
I'm assuming it's like an arch.
Same.
Okay, sure, that makes sense.
So you guys will probably have to make an athletic. I'll go ahead and take AJ's rope here, and fly across the bridge and tie it to something.
Sure. So you fly across the short gap and you tie one length of the rope to one of the bridge posts.
Alright, I'll tie it to something on this side as well.
Sure. You tie it to another one of the bridge posts and you give it a couple yanks and it seems fairly secure.
Draxos, how heavy are you?
379 pounds.
These big boys.
Huh.
All muscle, baby.
Alright, I'm going to attempt to shimmy across the rope.
Sure. Make an athletics check with advantage.
18.
So yeah, easily enough, you just kind of slowly make your way across the rope and get your footing on the other side of the bridge.
Come on, Draxos.
I'll try to do the same.
Alright, make an athletics check with advantage.
Thanks.
What's your athletics?
+4.
16. Alright. Yeah, so even just the rope sags a bit under your weight, but you kind of just shimmy across and make your way to the other side of the bridge.
We did it.
Let's leave the rope there for now.
Yep, was the plan. In case we need an escape route later or something happens. Okay.
So, set into the mott's curtain wall are 2 windowless stone gatehouses with wood-shingled high-pitched rooftops. Between them stands a set of oak doors with iron hinges.
I'm assuming we're proceeding, or are we not?
Sorry, what?
I'm talking to the party here. I'm saying if
Oh,
we're proceeding,
yeah,
if they
I'll,
don't proceed, or
I'll stealthily walk up to the door and see if I can hear anything.
I'll also follow stealth.
Alright, I'll have you both make stealth checks.
Yep.
10.
Shortly.
So, as you're approaching,
Terrible.
as you're approaching the wooden gatehouse, you actually trip over a body that was sitting just before the doors to the gatehouse. It is actually a large hobgoblin that has two spears sticking out of him. He has sort of like a commanding presence. He's armored a bit differently, and he seems a bit more intimidating than most of the other goblins that you had seen up to this point.
Oh no, it's our boy. It's our.
I'd like to search him.
Sure. Make a investigation check.
Huh.
We're getting
6.
really bad behold right now.
You don't find anything of note. He smells disgusting. He smells a little worse even than Sean, has the combination of goblin blood and rotting pumpkin. Yeah, he smells disgusting. You don't even want to get near him.
I'm happy I don't have scent glands. Thank God.
Can I take this pumpkin off my head?
No,
you can
it's a cursed pumpkin. You must wear it forever. Yeah, so you can take the pumpkin off of your head.
Chuck it into the river.
I'm gonna throw it in the river.
Hell yeah.
Make an athletics check.
I can't throw a damn pumpkin.
No.
No. Apparently not.
10.
I mean, you're
Okay,
trying to throw it like 40 feet, bro.
You throw the pumpkin and it lands with a splash in the river.
Easy.
I was gonna see if you could throw it like all the way to the shore, pretty high. Would have been pretty impressive.
All right, I guess I'll continue towards the door again.
Well, maybe we should have Zephyros scout out inside and fly up.
It says he has no windows.
Oh.
Yeah, there's no windows. Unless I fly over the building and into the courtyard.
Okay.
These are guard posts that I hear.
It's like a gatehouse.
Yeah.
Okay. I envisioned something. This whole thing I thought was something else. Okay, never mind. Continue.
So I guess I'll just continue stealthily towards the door and see if I can notice anything.
It's just a door. You don't see anything. The bridge is fairly contained. Bridge. You can't see anything past the gatehouse, obviously, as it is rather tall
Right.
and windowless. But there's nothing on the bridge other than the gatehouse.
All right, I'll quietly open the door and check inside.
Sure. 1 second. Alright, so you open, the gate does just push open with a quick push. The door is rather heavily constructed, so it takes a bit of effort, but even with just that bit of effort, you manage to push open the door. And you open the door to the inner bailey. Compared to the rest of the town, you can tell that the castle was heavily bombarded, as it was, you would guess, the primary target of the rocks that were being thrown. There are rocks just strewn all across the inner bailey that encircles the yard. Yeah.
Oh, so we're just through the gatehouse?
Yep. You sure are.
Where's the entrance to the castle?
That's a good question, actually.
There's no door.
It's a good question. Yeah, I don't see a door. Should we just enter this giant hole in the side?
1 moment.
Or do we want to go up on the ramparts?
Players can enter the keep through the front door. Don't know what that means.
I don't know what the front door is.
I think it's just straight ahead, honestly. The stuff that's like there, 14F is the roof.
Alright, I'll just head towards the door. And I will attempt to do the same thing and quietly open the door and see if I see anything inside.
Make a stealth check.
Alright, I rolled like a fucking 4 and a 3. Or a 2. Let me get a good roll here, bro. 14.
Alright, 1 moment. Alright, sorry. Grab your minis. I'm gonna the inside of the castle.